Hey guys, welcome back. A dream is just a great idea that doesn't have a website yet. I don't know. Okay. Make it a reality with today's sponsor. They are Squarespace, where you make it easy to turn your idea into a unique website. You can showcase your work, blog, or publish content, even sell products and services of all kinds in just a few clicks. And we know that so many of you have all kinds of businesses and services and things like that we've seen at shows of ours and on our social media. So if you don't have a website already, Squarespace is a great place to start. They've got 24/7 award-winning customer support. You can customize everything from the look and feel to the settings and products using beautiful templates created by world-class designers, so it's less for you to worry about. Don't have to install, patch, or upgrade ever. So head to squarespace.com/READ for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code READ to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now let's move on.
Hey y'all, today's episode is also brought to you by Talkspace, the online therapy company that lets you message a licensed therapist from anywhere at any time with no commute and no leaving the office, and of course, no judgments. With Talkspace, therapy is as easy as sending your therapist a message, and you can match with your perfect therapist today for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy. I mean, it is way, way cheaper than regular therapy. So make sure you go to Talkspace.com/read for a special offer on Talkspace today. Talkspace, it's therapy for how we live today. Check them out. And now let's start the show. Okay, so instead of a regular quote this week, what I'm going to do is give you an option of 4 quotes, and you tell me which one is the real one.
Oh, girl!
Yes, I'm going to give you some hints.
You are the weakest link ass.
Yes, I'm going to give you some hints. I'm going to give you some context, okay? Dorothy was upset because Sophia set her up with a matchmaker.
Sure.
Now, she said one of these 4 lines to her mother.
Okay.
Tell me which one is the correct line.
Sure.
A, say goodbye, old woman. B, get back here, you deceitful little Sicilian gecko. C, listen, you vindictive little sea monkey. And D, now listen up, you withered old Sicilian monkey. Which one did she say?
You know what? You're the worst.
I am the worst.
Because the problem here is that they're all things that Dorothy has said to her mother.
They're all viable as fuck.
I just have to figure out which one she said. She set her up with a matchmaker. Is this the one where she was sleeping with a guy who, looked like a complete nerd, but he was great in bed?
Perhaps. Perchance.
What are the first 2?
Say goodbye, old woman. Get back here, you deceitful little Sicilian gecko.
Okay. What are the last 2?
Listen, you vindictive little sea monkey.
Okay.
Now listen up, you withered old Sicilian monkey.
Okay, so I know it's definitely not D, because I remember the episode that D comes from, and that's one of my favorite lines.
The answer is actually D.
No, it is not.
It is.
No, it isn't.
That's what this website says.
No, it's not.
Now, to be fair, I did not actually find a quote this week. I Googled ferociously to find a quote.
No, it isn't.
But the website says that the answer is D. Now listen up, you withered old Sicilian monkey.
The website is wrong.
The
website's wrong.
Okay, I don't really believe that, but that's fine.
The website is fucking incorrect.
I have a piece of trivia for you.
No, we're not moving on.
No. I am moving. We are moving on.
No, that's not what's going to happen.
What are you going to do? Look it up?
Yes.
How?
That quote is not from that episode. I don't care. I'm not going out like this.
What are you going to do? Find all the scripts?
I'm going to find the episode that I believe it is from. It shouldn't even take me long. I'm already at Hulu.
All right, great.
Go ahead with the trivia question.
Yeah, so the trivia question is unrelated. Now, in almost every episode, Rose references her hometown of St. Olaf.
Yes.
However, in one of the first episodes, season 1, when Rose first revealed her hometown, she did not say it was St. Olaf. She called it another town. What is that town's name? It was the one and only time that Rose ever said she was from anywhere but St. Olaf. Do, do, do,
Look,
do,
I'm not
do,
going to do this with you today. No, this isn't right. This was when?
Season 1, episode 8.
Season 1, episode 8.
She was feeling unsafe because there was a burglary in the house.
Right. I remember that episode.
She talked about her hometown. It was the one time that she did not say she was from St. Olaf.
I don't have an answer for
The answer
this.
is Little Falls.
What?
I don't know why, but that is the answer.
Wherever you're getting this from is made up.
I don't believe so,
All
actually.
of this is a lie.
I think it's true. I'm going to go.
None of it is correct.
So the problem is that people are going to go back and look up season 1, episode 8, and then 1 billion people are going to tag you with, oh my God, it did happen in this episode. I just watched it on Hulu, and it did happen, Kid Furry. It did. So, amen.
Well, if you excuse me, sir, I'm having a heart-to-heart with my mother. Now listen up, you wither old Sicilian. That's not this episode.
It's not? Are you sure?
I think I'm wrong. What did she say? Maybe this is where she says goodbye. Say goodbye, old woman.
Perhaps.
Fuck it.
Yeah. It's okay. We can't all be perfect at all things, friend. It's fine.
This actually doesn't count because you had to go and search for some hellish website.
It's true. I did.
To get these questions.
Mm-hmm.
And no.
And the website said truly difficult Golden Girls trivia. So, it wasn't easy. But, it shouldn't have been too easy either. You love that show. You have Sophia's bag and everything. So it shouldn't have been too simple for you. Oh, it's fine. Welcome back, everybody, to The Read. This nigga is over here pissed. Here, you want some more tequila? You want me to fill
I am
Want me to refill your drink?
so angry.
Woo! Yes, only 2 weeks in and I have stumped you. I'm feeling pretty proud.
No, wait a minute. Where I need to find to the part where she gets up and walks away.
Are you really Googling?
I'm looking for the line I thought that it
The
was.
scripts.
Oh, no, it's not this episode.
Damn. I am so sorry, friend. Players fuck up too. So, let's just get back to the program that we're here to do, if you don't mind getting out of your feelings. Hey, welcome to The Read, everybody. I am Issa Rae.
And I am a broken shell of a person.
This is so extra. And this is The Read. Welcome back, everybody. Who's Black Excellence this week, Kid Fury?
This week,
I'm really going to need you to pep up, sir, because it is not that serious.
I just knew that I was going to make it through any Golden Girl question that was thrown at me.
No, sir.
And I'm actually shattered.
Shattered like Pink Diamond?
Okay,
Because
well,
we can talk about that, too. That fucked me right on up.
this week's Black Excellence is the first person of color to host CFDA Fashion Awards. That is the one and only Issa Rae. Not only for that and for looking amazing at the award show, but also for the following.
From just a few hours ago, when I'm left to my own devices, I'm about as fashionable as Kanye is black. Only when it's convenient. You guys, that joke was my choice, just like slavery. Come on.
Woo! I love that nigga. Don't forget her every nigga is a star belt as well.
Like that whole opening speech or whatever.
Yeah, monologue, perfect.
So funny. But the fact that, that was just a great joke.
So good.
So great. So, impeccable timing. And the fact that the wife of Choosy Slaves Choose West was there makes it even better for me.
It actually does, because she was the one who said that she don't take no shit and she always gonna ride for her man, and yet I ain't heard hair nor how to
I love
her.
it.
And I
Please.
just honestly honestly, Mrs. Kardashian West, I honestly wish you would open your plastic ass mouth to say something about Issa Rae, because all I need is a reason to cuss you the fuck out. Like, it actually just doesn't even take much. So please do say something about her, but you know better, so I'm sure you won't. You're going to stay in your fucking lane, as you should. Shout out to Issa for being very damn real at the CFDAs, which, I mean, that's a pretty white audience, you know. She had to have been wondering, you know, I don't know if these are going to land. I don't know if everybody is going to rock with this, but it was great. And definitely the belt that she wore on the red carpet, I just stand. So can't wait for Insecure to come back this August.
So excited. Season 3. Let's get it poppin'. This week in Hot Tops and the Secret Life of Bottoms. Where to begin?
I don't know.
They're allegedly, tutored or rebooted.
Two? Oh, no. Okay.
I really was going to say that for my read, but...
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
No, it's okay. We can just address...
I'm avoiding most of it.
How? They've literally already tagged us in the whole goddamn concert.
Well, I muted OTR and OTR II. But I have seen pictures of these children who are allegedly the twins, and I have my own theories about that. I don't think, because BuzzFeed posted an article saying that the picture with Beyonce holding the twins, and then there's that image in the middle, and then Jay-Z is on the other side holding the twins. Mm-hmm. BuzzFeed posted an article saying that they reached out to Beyonce's rep, and Beyonce's rep said that those are not the twins. That is not Sir and Rumi. But there is also, right, I don't know whose kids those. They just could be two random black babies. I don't know. But I do think that the pictures of them at the vow renewal, have you seen that?
Yes.
Where they're renewing their vows? I do think that is Sir and Rumi. Those children, though, are significantly lighter than the kids in that other picture.
Okay, fair.
I mean, you never know with infants.
I really have no idea why I wasn't there.
Right.
I do see what you're saying, though. You know, when I saw the pictures the first time, the ones with her holding the babies with the Rick James braids.
Yes.
That was the first thing I saw, and I immediately just tried to get as far away from it as possible. Because, again, you know, these things, there's no way to avoid it. The concert starts, everybody posted pictures, she's posting pictures and things like that, and she's not coming out here for some months. Yeah. And I only got tickets to come out here for whatever reason, because I don't think. But, you know, I just did not want to see any of that. There's no way around it. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And you got to take the good with the bad. The good being that eventually she will come here and slay my life. But yeah, I can't think of why they would have twins that aren't theirs, but maybe it'll all come together when it comes together. But I did see the picture from the vow renewal, and those babies look like blue, so.
Yeah, they do, especially the little girl.
Yeah.
And the little boy's face is just like, child, what am I bearing witness to? When is this going to be over? Right. I would love a nap. So those kids look a lot like Blue Ivy. So I think that's what's going on. But why? I mean, the only real explanation is just that Beyonce loves to fuck with us. She loves to fuck with our emotions. She don't really care how we feel about things. We're going to get the tour we deserve, not the tour we want. You can take that however you want to. Because I know a lot of us do not want to be bothered with Jay-Z Carter at all. And you're just going to have to deal with it anyway. But I'm
okay with Jay-Z being there.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have bought tickets if I wasn't okay with it. But I know a lot of the Beehive is just still not really feeling.
Take a Beyonce only concert. Obviously, I would choose a Beyonce only concert because, you know, I just want to see Beyonce, to be frank.
To be right.
But I have never been to a Jay-Z show that I didn't enjoy. Mm-hmm. And as I've said before, I expect that there will be many times where Jay-Z is up on the stage that Beyonce will also be on the stage. Or there will be some giant visuals of Beyonce up on the Jumbotron or whatever those magnificent screens are behind her.
Right.
There'll be plenty Beyonce going on, I feel like, even when Jay-Z is walking back and forth, rapping.
Definitely.
So I'm just ready to get started. And in the meantime, I'm just going to have to batten down the hatches of my social media accounts, I guess. So
your read was you being annoyed by people tagging you in the pictures and videos and stuff.
It was more so directed to the universe because it's not people's fault. You go to the Beyonce concert, you take pictures, and those pictures are going to immediately go to your social media feed.
Right.
And then it's going to be tagged with me and you, and I'm going to see it. So there's not really anything that I can do about it. I'm gonna say don't take pictures.
Especially on Instagram. I cannot avoid being tagged on Instagram. Like Instagram doesn't have a way to filter mentions and tags and stuff the way pretty much every other social media site does.
And even if you're not tagged in it, I'm still scrolling down and people I followed and posted the damn pictures and stuff like that. And so there's just no way to avoid it. And it's really the read was that life sucks.
I got you. Yeah. Sadness.
But congratulations to all of you who got to go out there and have a great time with Beyonce. While we sat here.
In Cardiff, wherever that is. Let me Google it.
Where?
Cardiff.
Oh, I thought that was the name of the album.
No, that's where the show was. It's in Wales.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's over there by the sea.
Cardiff? Yes, it is, actually. It is on the south coast of Wales where the River Taff meets the Severn Estuary.
Okay,
Shout out to
like
Wikipedia.
Or Game of Thrones or something. I don't have time.
Cardiff is the 11th largest city in the UK. So it makes sense, I guess, for her to have started her tour there.
Why even mention that? The 11th. Like, girl, you're not even top 10.
That's just what Wikipedia... Listen, I'm going straight off Wikipedia because I've never heard of this place. They got castles and it looks like Game of Thrones.
That's what I'm saying.
As far as I can tell.
It meets at the river Styx and then comes back to Mount Olympus. Whatever.
Oh, man.
Okay, it's lots of rap trash this week.
Fun.
Is there any non-rap trash? So... Tracy Morgan did an interview with Vulture recently. And I'm just going to play it.
Okay.
Or attempt to play it. I'm not going to play it.
What happened?
I thought there was the video and it was a picture.
Oh, okay. It happens to the best of us.
The point is, sweetness.
We'll talk about your crush story. How has it been watching Tiffany Haddish blow up? And did you know her? We're not going to go there?
No.
Why?
Because Tiffany's not the only one. This is not Tiffany Child. This is Tracy Morgan.
I love his shirt.
This is the last OG. So you might as well, if you're going to ask that about Tiffany, ask that about Cedric. And ask that about craft services. Everyone that come to work every day on that show, we not going to go there.
Okay. Let's not go there. Let's talk about craft services.
I love how the White Queen was like, let's talk about craft services.
I would actually love to talk about craft services. What sort of pastries were on set?
Like, do they give you strawberry and grape jam? Or is there like maybe a peach? How does that work?
Right. Are they
craft services are like, them shits be lit though.
Right. Especially when the network act like they have a budget and they really spring for that shit. And it's not like a continental breakfast. It's like real ass food and stuff. Craft services can be very
it's like
nice.
A grandma that's
so
like,
I understand why.
You need to eat. Here's this and that. And
that White Queen got excited because he was like, actually, yes, let's do talk about craft services because, bitch, I love it. So I get that, but this sounded haterish to me from the very beginning. I don't know if something else has come out since then, if Tracy Morgan has tried to defend himself or not, but it did sound a bit haterish to me.
I didn't hear anything about him just trying to defend himself.
Well,
Lil Rel retweeted the video and said, "This is one hating ass dude right here. That show would be nothing if Tiffany Haddish wasn't on it. Don't bite the hand that keeps you relevant." Oh, hustle, man.
And you know what? Like I said in Toronto, I really love that we are seeing a cis straight black man stick up for a black woman in front of another cis straight black man. I feel like we don't see enough of that. I feel like those niggas usually stick together. And so I'm glad to see Lil Rel be like, no, don't come for Tiffany like that. You know, like, yeah, I understand you may have been annoyed, like LeBron might be annoyed when reporters asking him about his whack-ass, flop-ass teammates all the time.
Oh, wow.
But Tiffany is actually popping. She's got lots of movies coming out this year. She's been doing a lot. You know, she and Groupon continue to put out regular content, having me buying shit off of Groupon these days. Tiffany Haddish got me buying swim lessons and rock climbing experiences and all type of shit on Groupon. It's a whole bunch of shit like that on Groupon. Tiffany Haddish, man. So
I've never used Groupon in my life. No shade.
Nigga.
I've just never.
It's so many fun experiences at a discount on Groupon.
Groupon reminds me of websites like Pinterest and other websites. Not that they're anything alike. They're just websites I don't understand how to use. Mm-hmm. Like, I signed up for Pinterest years ago, and I sat there and looked at like the main page for maybe 20 straight minutes, and I was just like, I don't know how to do this.
Well, I honestly think Pinterest is mostly for moms because they get a bunch of craft ideas and like birthday party decoration ideas and shit like that off Pinterest. But Groupon is good if you ever need like services performed. Like, it's a bunch of nail shops where you can get, you know, a certain percentage off for your first manicure or whatever. Lash extensions, that kind of thing, spa services. And then there's experiences like
Keisha
pottery.
Concerts.
Yeah, Azealia Banks concerts, pottery throwing lessons, rock climbing, all type of shit. It's all type of shit on Groupon. And I wasn't really checking for them like that. I mean, I got my nails and lashes done lots of time through Groupon vouchers, but like going out and doing shit, I wouldn't have never even thought of if not for all the Tiffany Haddish commercials. So, you know, because of her, I checked out Groupon and I've been using it more lately. So I just don't understand Tracy Morgan. It sounds like he's almost mad that her name is being brought up, but like, she's popping and she's a newer comic certainly than you are. She's up and coming. Her star is rising. So it just kind of seems like, why wouldn't you want to big up a black woman who is new to this space and who is killing it in so many different ways? That's what I didn't get about him.
I've never watched this show. I actually have not heard much about it. Like, this incident is what made me look it up and actually find out what it's about. But I've heard about it over a while. I think it's on TBS. So I know Tiffany plays like his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or something, and she's also like the mother of his kids.
Yeah, I think so.
Whatever. But every person that I've seen comment about it since going and researching it, aside from this whole thing, has said that Tiffany makes the show. Tiffany's like the best part of the show, et cetera, et cetera.
Doesn't shock me.
If I've heard that in just a couple of days where I looked this whole shit up, I'm sure Tracy Morgan hears about that a lot. And, you know, just because I've always liked Tracy Morgan as a comic, but these people are still people. And it wouldn't shock me if someone like Tracy Morgan, who has been a comic for such a long time and has like a longer career or whatever, is now all of a sudden, you know, feeling some kind of way. Yeah, hating, basically. Kind of mad.
Because it's like, why be mad about that, though? Like,
that just doesn't really make sense.
You have made so much money and you have such an established name. Like, why be mad at somebody who, even if she is carrying the show, 99.99% chance Tracy Morgan's check is higher than hers is. So why be mad if you are still ultimately the OG in the whole situation? That's what I don't really get. But I do also understand being annoyed at constantly being asked about somebody else. So it's like I see both sides of it, but ultimately I'm still like kind of siding with, I mean, not like Team Tiffany, not like I think they're beefing or nothing, but I just...
LeBron literally picked up his pocketbook and glasses and just left.
And pulled them pussy shorts down, too. We're not doing... Be better tomorrow is what he told them niggas on his way out. Which I just... Like, how can you be mad at that? Like, I'm going to have to just go ahead, dislodge my shorts from the crease of my balls...
Was he wearing shorts? Why do you keep calling them pussy shorts?
Because he was wearing shorts.
I did not know.
And when he stood up, he did pull them down out of his balls. He stood up, adjusted his shorts, picked up his leather alligator Birkin, and stomped his ass right on out that room because he was sick of everybody's shit. Now, they weren't Daisy Dukes. They were nigga shorts, but I'm just being ridiculous because this show is ridiculous.
I just thought that he was...
He definitely had shorts on. Oh, yeah, he had shorts on. Yes, I saw the shorts.
Wearing like a suit?
It's a suit. Jacket? Yeah, no, it's a suit. It's suit shorts. It's not denim shorts.
Oh.
It is suit shorts.
Okay.
You know, California is hot. You're not putting all that on.
Yeah, no. I just... Okay. I had not noticed.
I love it
That's
so
fair.
much. Right. And you know, and he has talked about, you know, he's been asked about J.R. Smith's dumb ass and, you know, picking up the slack of his teammates and all this. And he has said, listen, like, I don't know who the fuck y'all think I am, but we wouldn't be in the finals, much less the championship, if not for me. So, like, don't come for me with that dumb shit.
J.R. Smith clearly has astigmatism and myopia, and people need to stop being so mean and actually get him to an optometrist. Don't they have, like, glasses where you with, like, the strap in the back? so they can like.
I'm gonna take this to mean that you find J.R. Smith attractive.
Who? I know what J.R. Smith looks
Oh,
like.
and you're not into him?
No thanks. It's just
Because I don't
clear
know
that
why
he
else
has
you would defend
issues
him.
with seeing, and people need to be like.
He has issues with
Maybe
keeping.
he's afraid to get LASIK. Maybe he's one of those people who doesn't like putting contact lenses on your eyes. That freaks a lot of people out.
It does.
And when you're so active and running around, you can't just wear glasses. He needs the kind with the strap.
You can.
But he's probably embarrassed to wear them.
There are basketball glasses that are like plastic. I mean, they're ugly, definitely. They're not cute by any stretch.
It's not, like that's not a fashion place.
Yeah, no,
you're
you
at
have
work.
to constantly take them off and wipe them down. Like you're gonna sweat and all this.
What's most important is being able to perform.
It's true.
The art of the game,
right? Which is just like it makes the game one loss that much worse because like they really could have won, but now they're down 2 and it just looks utterly hopeless.
And when you're in the end zone, on top of that, at the last
the end
minute,
zone's a scary place. I'm
imagining the tension of trying to make a
when
goal.
you're in like third overtime and it's sudden death and everything's on the line and it's just a stressful.
This probably sucks.
It's a high stress situation.
It's happened before to him, hasn't it?
It has, but I think LeBron has been to the finals 9 times, maybe in the last 10 years or something ridiculous like that. Regardless of which team he's on, they end up in the finals. So it is certainly a credit to LeBron James' ability as an athlete.
That's why his daughter laughed so big.
That's why she yells out to him in the middle of the third quarter, like, Daddy, I want a Snickers. And he's just like, all right, time out. My baby sent a Snickers. Who the fuck has a Snickers? Like asking everybody, sending, some underpaid towel boy out to the stands. No, it definitely does. Oh, you haven't seen this video? It's so cute. There's a video of her asking him for candy. And so he's asking like other teammates and other coaches, like, hey, anybody got some candy? Because his daughter was like, Daddy, I want it. I want it right now.
What a fucking legend.
No, she's everything. That baby, oh God, I have to look up her name. I want to say it's Zuri, but I might be saying that just because I'm obsessed with Black Panther. But she's so cute. Oh God.
Yeah, she's adorable. Well, good luck to everybody that we just talked about because I feel like that was
Jury. It's Jury. Zhuri. No, the fucking bad bitches of the West are gonna win. Golden State is gonna win, and Steph Curry and the rest of them bitches are gonna get another ring, and it's fine. I've accepted it. Neither one of these teams is my team, so I'm trying not to take it too personally.
They're not mine either.
Right.
In all fairness,
right?
But I wish everybody the best. I hope they,
I don't want anybody to be injured, except one nigga, but I won't say that out loud because that's ugly. So.
Well, Trey Songz is in some more foolishness with a woman. I believe last month, you remember that whole
that
story
girl who accused
assaulting?
him of assault? Yeah.
Yeah. She said that they were at a party and she was talking to another woman and he punched her and stuff. They threw out that case because allegedly multiple eyewitnesses had different stories than hers. And so he had no felony or misdemeanor charges, et cetera, et cetera. Now, fast forward to, I don't know when this went up on his Instagram.
Okay.
But he posted on his story just emojis. You know when niggas take a picture of the palm of their hand or whatever, and then you put a caption?
No.
You don't really have to anymore because now Instagram will literally just give you a page with the whatever.
Like palm reading, really?
Not palm reading. Niggas will just
I was gonna do it right now.
What niggas just take a picture of your leg or somewhere so the screen will be black, just covering the camera.
Oh, so you get a totally black picture.
Right.
Got it, yes.
Because this looks like it may have been his thumb. But then it also could be, how Instagram now lets you just choose a colorful background, a graded. Nigga, the point is that he did that and then put the following, a middle finger emoji, 12, and you, rat emoji. So fuck 12, 12 being the police,
right?
Which I agree with.
Yep.
And you, rat. Which really mostly makes me miss Mob Wives. I heard they're rebooting that as well, but Drita says she don't want to do it anymore. So, why bring it back?
Right. And old girl passed away. So
right, Big Ange. So
Big Ange passed away.
I super don't want to watch it.
Right. Right. And Drita, I did not really know she was on One of those reality
No, she's been on a
shows.
whole bunch of them. Some Mom's Wives been on.
The one that oh god, the one that Safari was on.
Where they was in that haunted,
chest. He
that
was
fake
shirtless all the
haunted
time.
house?
Yeah, that fake haunted house.
That show was so dumb.
It was dumb, but
Dumb. And Redman was the host?
that was yes, but that was the
Trash.
first time I ever watched anything with Drita on it,
That
and I
wasn't-
ended up really liking her.
that was the first time you ever watched anything with Drita? You never watched Mob Wives?
No, I only ever saw clips of Big Ange, but I never watched Mob Wives.
Bitch, Mob Wives was so good. Are you kidding me?
You sound like Alex when I said I never watched Laguna Heights. She did the same thing.
Laguna what?
Whatever it's called.
Laguna Beach
There you go.
and the Hills.
And the Hills, there it is. I didn't want to bring it up, but I didn't know
Laguna
the name of
Beach.
the other one.
was trash.
Okay.
And don't believe anybody who tells you different. Laguna
Okay.
Beach is literally just the Hills prequel. Now the Hills,
Is that everything?
lit.
Is that after the main blonde girl went to go work at Vogue?
I mean, I think that's kind of what the Hill, like that was like the premise of
What's
it.
her name? Ashley?
Conrad.
Lauren Conrad.
Like,
She has a clothing line, right? I know her name
probably a
kind
bunch
of.
things. I think she wrote like a book that was like a fictional version of the same ass show, The Hills, that she shot. Like I think it was like a series of books with some dumb name like Sugar Coated or Candy Lies, something with a lollipop. I don't know.
Oh, she's been married since 2014.
Yeah, they're all like fully grown and have 18 kids, whatever.
Oh, wow. Her website is a sign-up experience. I know that's right. You better take these niggas' money, girl.
But yeah, The Hills was fucking everything, and it was just about her moving to LA and like trying to be one of the Olsen twins or whatever. I guess.
All right.
Neither here nor there. Mob Wives was the shit. Cause them bitches like really hated each other. Like they weren't trying to just fight because it meant more camera time and you'll have more spots at the reunion and possibly come back to fight. Like they actually hated each other. They cursed like absolute sailors and they were so mad at like shit that really wasn't that deep to begin with, but they just really threw hands. Some of the best VH1 fights.
Let me put this on my list of shows
My
to
Wives
watch.
is fantastic. Drita was just a cannonball.
There are just so many things to... I can tell that she's one of them white girls who go off on people and cuss people out. I could tell that from that other show.
She's one of those types of people, like, when she's about to get into a fight, she starts to, like, shake and freak out. Like I feel like she could, like, pick somebody up and rip them in half with her bare
like her
hands.
emotions are just too much. Okay.
Fantastic program.
All right, I'll watch it.
Anyway, back to Trey Songz. Fuck 12 and you rat. So this is just like a cryptic, you know, emotional moment from Trey Songz. Everyone has it.
Yeah.
You know, famous, non-famous.
Who's the rat, though?
I'm getting to her because she spoke up. The alleged rat in question is a girl. I'm not even gonna say her Instagram name because I don't know. But she screenshots the Insta story, reposts it on her own story, tags Trey Songz and says, "We can do this.
Oh, no.
You want me to bring this to social media?" I believe that this font, what is this one called? Strong? Whatever. It's one of these weird fonts that you choose. I hate it.
Okay.
Then a couple more slides here. Drugs don't only impact you. They impact everyone around you and the people that care about you. I mean, sure.
What are we talking about when we say drugs?
Didn't you yell, "Mob her," because I walked past you and said, "Trey, you lied to me about doing drugs." Then I got jumped. I only pressed charges because you were laughing while they judged me. And weren't you screaming, "I'm a slut"? Whole time we've been talking 2 months. Have you fucked once? Okay, Trey Songz. Motherfuckers want to bring shit to social media. Fuck the cops and me. Whole time you had 2 bitches you already fucked on jump me because I was upset about you doing drugs. Laughing my ass off.
I mean, so I don't really have a problem with this message. Love women exposing niggas.
Sure.
2K forever. Don't really understand this, though. It doesn't make sense to me.
I guess what she's trying to say, she was talking to Trey Songz. They never slept together by her account. And she approached him at one point, upset that he does drugs. What kind of drugs? Don't know. But...
Right, because, girl, if it's like weed and Xanax, I don't care.
I mean, like...
But if it's like heroin, that's different.
Either way, the drugs were her concern, and at some point in that disagreement between herself and the Songz, he yelled, "Mob her," to some other women he allegedly slept with.
And they did
and
it.
Those women then jumped this girl, leading her to calling the police and pressing charges. And so now she's a rat.
Oh, my God. Seriously, all that?
I believe her.
I mean, I do too. And it's really honestly no reason to not believe the woman. Also, so it's, again, not that I don't believe her, but I have big questions about why you would identify yourself in this situation. Because it's not like he added her in the Instagram story or anything, right? He just, said fuck 12 plus, fuck the rat or whatever.
Yeah.
So why would you then out yourself as it was kind of like why would you identify yourself right after Lemonade came out as Becky with the good hair? Like, why would you do that? Why would you identify yourself as the rat in this situation?
Well, Becky was dead wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas in this situation, like, again, if I was talking to a dude and found out that he did drugs that I wasn't cool with, I'm not going to approach him like, "You do drugs? But how good you, Trey?" I'm not going to do I'm just probably going to stop talking to you. I'm definitely going to stop talking to you. And that's just going to be the end of it. If you ask me why, I'll let you know what I wasn't uncomfortable with. But I'm not going to run up on you and approach you over drugs that you do. I don't care. But she did. I don't feel like that's wrong. It's just something I would not have done.
Right.
What is wrong is to then be like, "Oh, y'all go beat her ass," and and then when she presses charges, you're calling her a rat. Like, yeah, she didn't have to press charges, and yeah, whatever, the code of the streets or whatever the fuck it is. But you dead ass wrong, nigga. And at the same time, you also know that you're Trey Songz, and you just got out of a situation where you were allegedly putting hands on a woman.
Right.
And you just got out of another situation. I think he's now being sued by some people in Detroit after you remember when he had that whole meltdown on stage at one of his shows in Detroit, and he got in trouble for it? You can look it up if you absolutely care. You won't because you don't care. But the point is, you should know better at this point. Maybe you are doing drugs that are affecting your better judgment if this girl's story is true. Because why would you send her to go and get jumped, and then you are sending a message on your page that you know she will see after you send people to jump her?
So I don't.
Why wouldn't she be like, "Oh yeah, girl, so by the way, here I am the rat and you dead ass wrong and I'm going to tell everybody that you're wrong"? She didn't do nothing to you according to this.
I think I personally would have avoided it because I need as few niggas as possible in my business. Mm-hmm. Everybody don't have to feel the way I feel. But if you not
Sweetheart right here don't feel nowhere near what you do.
She don't give a fuck about none of that, and I understand that. But as for me, I'm looking at the situation. If it was me in this situation, I would have been like, I need as few niggas as possible to know the L I took with regard to Tremaine Songz. I don't need nobody to know about that. So I wouldn't have reacted to that. But you, of course, are more than welcome to do whatever the fuck you feel about this situation. I would have left it alone, but all right, sis, sure.
Well, speaking of girls from Instagram involved with niggas, this is definitely one I would have left alone and kept to myself.
You're not drinking your tequila. Your weed-infused tequila.
That you made.
That I made.
Are you going to upload a recipe or a step-by-step?
No, because I have told these niggas over and over, it's just it's tequila sitting in a bunch of weed or whatever alcohol you like, sitting in a bunch of weed for 3 or 4 weeks, and then I strain it, and then I serve it. That's all it is. So I'm sure there are real recipes and methods online. This is just my own ghetto way of doing it. But you're barely sipping it.
Well, I'm trying to get through what I'm here to do first.
And then you can chill and just get drunk. Okay.
Once we get into the letters, it's...
So I got it. Okay, so I'm going to drink now and you're going to drink later.
Sure.
This is Jade's fault. Jade and Fran had me out in Union Square drunk earlier today, so this is their fault that I'm wasted. Sorry, guys.
Okay, let's just drink some more and add some weed to it.
Yeah, no, we're just going to keep doing it.
So here is a story about how an Instagram girl's life got flipped upside down.
Okay.
This is from a girl named Shay Martis? Shay Martis? Shay Martis?
Let me Google this.
Shay Martis.
Shay Wow, she comes up in Google Suggest.
I can't imagine that there's anybody else with a name spelled
Shay
like this.
Martez Whitsett, Shay Martez Instagram, and then Shamar Moore.
So she was talking to Future Shamartrice, and here's the story that she posted. I believe that this is in Facebook where this was left because it looks like one of the maps I don't use.
Okie dokie.
Oh, God, it's lengthy. Okay, now, okay. Okay, now that I'm settled in my room, I had to book. I can go on and tell y'all.
What?
So I've been talking to Future since March. I chilled with him in Miami and went to the studio with him or whatever, and he was so cool and nice. Like 3 days ago, he told me he wanted to see me, so I told him to book my flight. He told me to book it, and he will give me my money back, which was 1,000% of what I paid for my flight.
Okay, now why would that be the case?
Sweetie.
Now that I'm looking at it, I definitely have seen this story circulating on Instagram and Twitter all week long, so now I do know who you're talking about.
I paid $550 for my flight. So when I got here, he's supposed to be giving me $5,500.
Now, why would that be the case, Shamartris? Why would that be the case?
Shamartis.
When he said, I'm going to pay you back 1,000%, he meant you have 1,000% certainty that I will pay you back. Not that you will get your money back 1,000% over. That doesn't... Why would you think Future was going to cash app you $5,500 for a flight from like Florida to Atlanta, sis? Why? I don't get that. Bless her heart.
So Shamar Braxton goes on to say he had already booked my room and he had a key left for me at the front desk. So I get settled in and text him. He called me on FaceTime telling me I'm supposed to be waiting on him in the room with lingerie. For one, lingerie wasn't on my mind when I was packing. I was thinking more of the studio, my nigga. But anyway, I told him I wasn't on that type of time. We talk, but we don't talk enough for me to fuck him. So Sunday gets here. I left to get something to eat and came back. My key stopped working, so I'm thinking I just put my key close to my phone, and that's why it stopped working. Because it happens.
It does. All the time, actually, to me.
Like, very often.
And I have to go to that fucking front desk like, sorry, guys.
And you, like, already went up to your room.
Right, and it doesn't work. Neither one of them work. And they're like, really, bitch?
Especially if it's, like, in the middle of the night, too, so you really just wanted to get
And don't let you not have your ID. It's a million times worse.
Girl.
That's such a pain in the ass. I feel for her.
I get to the front desk, and they was telling me it wasn't working because I was supposed to check out today. I asked them how long the room was booked, and they said it was only booked for Saturday, which means he had plans to have sex with me and put me out anyway and not give me the $5,500. You were never getting $5,500.
It was always going to be $550.
You weren't getting 5,500 strokes.
It's not even $5,500 to fly first class.
Like,
So Sistren, you definitely are entitled to your $550 back, but
yeah, sure.
$5,500, I don't see it. Sorry, girl.
I'm so happy I didn't have sex with him because he would have fucked me and still put me out. At least I can say I'm not part of the collection. Laughing emoji. I just know where I will be in life. I just don't know where I will be in life, and I'm not about to go around and have sex with niggas. Okay, whatever. So
okay, got it. Yeah.
That's that. After that, Shameteers then posted the following iOS press release. I guess she was accused of lying.
Damn.
Which,
don't do my girl Shameteer
like
that.
you previously said, I don't know why. Like, why would I come for it anyway?
Right.
This is embarrassing.
Why would I do that? Right.
Mostly for you.
This is a mess.
Exclusively for you. Like, what I have to lie about? For one, I didn't show up to his room. He booked my own room. I posted this to tell my story, and I just can't believe he a lame-ass nigga like that. But, like, have you heard of Future? It really made me mad because this was his plan from the start, was to fuck me and put me out, especially by him getting my room for one night. But from the looks of it, he do girls like this all the time, but the difference is they fucked him and still didn't get paid. She's stupid. I would have stepped, she placed in quotations. Stepped for what? Just to say I fucked him? Y'all would have got fucked and been sitting outside on your bags and catching the Greyhound back. Y'all keep saying I should have never booked my flight and all that, but at the same time, I always travel and book my flight to wherever I want to go. Then why did you ask him to book your flight? For the blog saying that I got stranded, I never got stranded. I had a hotel less than 30 minutes later. Yeah, he booked my room and I booked my flight. He didn't get no ass and I didn't get no cash. Simple. What he did was lame as fuck. He really tried to handle me well. He didn't try. He did. So what? I'm keeping quiet for him. So all I really had to say to Shamatris is that, sweetie, nobody is shocked that Future did this to you. This in no way will affect Future's career endeavors, feature singles, production, nothing.
None of that.
Everybody who has ever heard of Future knows this. And I'm guessing that she wanted to, like, maybe she has an interest in having a musical career because she brought up the studio more than once. And
like, it's a place they were going to be hanging out at. Right,
because she said they used to hang out in the studio, and then when she flew out to see him, she was expecting them to hang out in the studio or whatever. But she even posted, like, screenshots of the text messages that she was sending when he realized that he wasn't going to have sex with her. And he really was just kind of like, all right, cool. It was nice seeing, you know.
He really was like,
you be good.
All right, sis, like, I'm good, love. I think that's what he said.
Like, you be safe, keep your head up. Very, you know, we're done.
Very respectful, very much like the bare minimum of how it is acceptable for a nigga to act. So those of you who are giving Future, like, applause for not trying to pressure. So, no, I won't say that. But via my Explore page, which Asante has me looking at lately, which is a big, big mistake.
It's really stupid.
There are lots of people who are like, you know, at least he wasn't pressuring her into sex and he wasn't like slut shaming or nothing like that. She said she wasn't down. He was like, that's cool. I'm like, that is the bare minimum of how these niggas should act.
That is not to work.
Right. That's not something worth applauding.
And when Future could easily go out and sleep with anybody else that same day.
Right.
I'm sure it's not hard for him to be like, okay, girl, cool.
What I don't understand is why my girl Shea Moisture thought that Future was going to be building a relationship with her. I don't get that. Like,
they were in the studio.
What? Okay. So here's the thing about the studio. You bitches may think you're important or special or different from everybody else by getting an invite to the studio, but it's just the studio. Like, are you getting invited back to the personal residence? Are you being asked to sign an NDA? Or are you being courted in a way that suggests that somebody is trying to get to know you? Once again, this is Future. Look at how Future did Sierra. And then think about whether he would do the same or worse to you. I don't understand why anybody is communicating with Future, that nigga rapper Future, via the internet and expecting anything other than a casual sexual relationship.
And Sierra wasn't hard to miss.
Which to this very day does not make sense. And I know that when she looks back at that video, if she ever does, she must be like, how come nobody said that you're not hard to miss is not compliment. It's the exact opposite of that. It's saying it's so easy for me to overlook you. It is like, it's saying there's so many bad bitches here that I barely even noticed you were in the room. So
maybe that's how he felt. Get that. Nobody counted.
I don't know why Shamartris thought that it was going to be anything other than that for her. Like, good for you for not sleeping with him if you didn't want to.
Right. Sure.
Absolutely. Totes. But I don't know what you thought.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know what you expected out of a nigga like Future. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen. Did you really think y'all was just gonna go? Y'all was just gonna go to Bennigan's, and you was gonna get the fried
Bennigan's.
You thought you was just gonna go order the fried Monte Cristo and get you a couple margaritas.
Bennigan's is so good,
and it just was gonna be like that. You and your nigga Future getting to know each other better. Like, girl, really? Did you think this nigga was trying to build a relationship with somebody? That's what I don't understand. But again, I would have never had Shamartris not screenshotted this shit and put it on the internet. The rest of us would have never known. And so just like that nigga involved with that girl involved with Trey Songz, I don't understand why you would identify yourself in this story.
I was thinking of Flanagan's. Bennigan's is good too.
No, Bennigan's is good. Well, I actually haven't been to a Bennigan's since I left Oklahoma. I'm not sure. I know there aren't any in Manhattan.
Oh, you know.
No, there are none. But
well, Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Pop, I feel like, you know, good luck in whatever it is that you're doing in the future. Some of y'all have to remember, though, like, these rappers... I mean, I don't, like, do you listen to their songs? Like they, hey, girl, when they say the stuff that they say about a lot of women, or just women in general on their records, and then you get treated like an object, you know, it's not to say it's definitely not your fault, but girl, like,
no, certainly not.
You could have saved your $550 and been like, I'm
just gonna
Future
stay
doesn't
home.
seem like the nicest person. I have no interest in having sex. Because they really just be inviting girls back to the studio just to have girls in the studio. Not
Right.
because they even care about you or your name.
It's nothing to
or
be
anything.
invited to the studio. Please stop thinking that's some kind of honor. You know what's an honor? Nigga making time out of his schedule to come fly to where you at.
Leaving
and
the studio
even
to see
then,
you.
it might just be about pussy. Like, you still have to think
Probably
twice. But he told you to book a ticket and come to where he was at. So I don't know what Shalon Delon thought was really finna happen. But girl, it's not. It isn't that. It isn't that. It was, from the beginning, it was clear to me that this was a sexual type of relationship. So if you weren't interested, you're well within your rights. But I don't know what you thought you was going to get out of Future. This is not Russell Wilson.
Well, I hope that she at least got to go see some museums or like.
Where did she go? She went to Atlanta,
I don't
right?
think she said where. Probably. I just assumed it was LA for some reason.
God
but
bless.
Whatever. So here's the thing about Rich the Kid and Lil Uzi Vert. I don't really know much about either one of them. I know a couple of their songs. I know that they're both a part of this crew of young people that grow their dreads out until about like the bridge of their nose and then dye it some obscure color.
They love dyeing their hair a
or
weird
like
color.
an ombre of rainbow color.
Bonus points for hand or face tattoos.
Yeah, definitely.
They do that a lot as well.
That helps. They are not fond of one another.
Nope.
I tried to look up the reasons for this. I was quickly reminded it has something to do with Lil Uzi Vert not liking his label situation right now.
Yep.
Rich the Kid said something about you should have signed to Rich Forever. I guess that is his label. Lil Uzi Vert responded to that by saying, I'm not signing for no 20 racks or something like that. Cue beef. Here we are today. So they've been taking shots at one another on songs and social media. And recently, during the Roots picnic, Lil Uzi Vert posted up.
He really did.
Outside of a Starbucks, no less. Like, they just shut this shit down.
They didn't give a fuck.
And here y'all go. Abigail was behind the motherfucking counter just trying to make a macchiato.
Like, Lord, I just had my racial sensitivity training. I don't know what to do.
Right. Like, I'm just shaking and looking at my supervisor like, what do I do? Do I call the police? Do I not call the police? So at one point, I just saw this clip of Lil Uzi Vert standing outside of the store, restaurant, whatever you would call it, cafe. Mm-hmm. And he definitely looked like, you know, a junior high school girl who, you know, is so glad that school is out and walked up to that bitch's porch and she's just waiting for her to come outside. She's not trying to hear none of that fuck shit from her sisters. She's not trying to hear none of that fuck shit from her cousin. She wants a straight fade one-on-one. That, you know, that really sat in my spirit and I enjoyed that.
Yeah. There's
also a clip where I don't know who swung on who, when, or whatever, but from the inside of the Starbucks, which of course I had to have it inside, a shoving match begins. Rich the Kid leaps over the counter. Abigail is beside herself. And there's another clip of someone who looks to be Rich the Kid running down the street.
Okay.
Afterwards. I don't know. Young people, leave one another alone. There has to be a way that you can come together and dye your dreads as a unit. Maybe dye them the same color. Or like 2 different shades of the same color. Like you could be like magenta and Rich the Kid could be like a lilac.
I just saw the video of Lil Uzi Vert, who has, you know, initially I chose to not give a fuck about any SoundCloud rappers or anybody whose name started with Lil, who came out after 2003. Because there's just too much to deal with.
Yeah.
But Lil Uzi Vert has continuously been kind of like very comfortable in his sexuality, whatever it may be. I'm not sure. He's probably straight, but it doesn't really matter. But also just like expressive in whatever way he feels like being expressive, which I really rock with coming from niggas. So all I saw...
in a harness the other day.
Right. And I've seen videos of him like walking up to a school bus and being really cute with some school kids. I just got here 3 days ago. I don't know.
That meme
yeah, just being
was
adorable.
Hilarious.
Right. I've seen lots of videos of him being adorable. So I do like Lil Uzi Vert based off those few little media interactions I've seen
like him
of
too.
him. Yeah. So all I saw was the video of him standing outside the Starbucks and the other nigga standing back behind like some kind of blockade or whatever, and them just kind of arguing back and forth a little bit. I didn't see anything else about this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this nigga Rich the Kid, I just Googled him, and apparently he's, been accused of domestic violence and and like forcing his wife to have multiple abortions.
And cheating on her with Black China.
Of course he cheated. I mean, that's just what niggas do. But they have 2 kids, King, who is 2, and Queen, who is 1, which I honestly love.
Love it.
Just adore.
Love it.
But, so I don't have a side to be on in this. Lil Uzi Vert is the more recognizable name, but I just hope that this doesn't end in violence, whereas the shit with, Taraji 6ix9ine, I don't give a fuck about. Whoever.
There's nothing wrong with that one.
Whoever ends up deceased in that situation, not saying I'm looking forward to it, but like, that little white boy writes a lot of checks that his Caucasian ass can't cash. He does. He talks a lot of big shit. And it's just a matter of time before somebody is like, okay, you talking big shit. So what's up, little nigga? Like, let's see what you got.
I don't look at him. I try to stay away from the news regarding teriyaki because he makes me very uncomfortable. I was traumatized at maybe 2 or 3 years old. My uncle thought it would be funny to show me Chucky, Child's Play.
Right. And
ever since then, I've been scarred, by that doll. It took me maybe an additional 15, 16 years before I worked up the nerve to watch it and just try to overcome my fear. And it's better now. But, he reminds me a lot of that doll. Especially with all that shit all over his... And in fact, doesn't he... I'm almost 100% sure he has the Billy the Puppet from Jigsaw or from the Saw movies tattooed on his face.
I wouldn't be shocked. I don't know who that is.
The Jigs from Saw, that little ugly puppet with the... you forget, whatever.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say here is that he makes me very uncomfortable. I'm frightened of the side of him, to be honest. He doesn't even need to approach me on no gangster shit. Like, just looking at him, quite honestly, scares me. I feel like he could be in It Too if... the Skarsgård brother doesn't want to do it again.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I don't even really understand what all of that... Like, I looked up the story behind that shit too, because I was thinking about talking about it, since someone was just ballsy enough to be letting shots off in front of the W Hotel in fucking Times Square. And they tracked y'all asses all the way back to Brooklyn. Like, girl... New York to play by guns.
We're not doing none of that, girl.
Like, the girls, they would love for one of y'all to have a gun.
You just go right on ahead and chill, because we're not doing none of that.
So that's like, I don't even understand why you would want to be that statistic. Like, even if you're from that kind of environment where like violence and gunshots and gangbanging and all that stuff is like nothing to you, I don't understand why you would like... Some niggas just don't know any better. Like, that's all they know. And to be honest with you, that young man doesn't seem like he knows much about anything.
Right.
So,
it's true.
If somebody ends up really seriously getting hurt or worse in this situation, it would be unfortunate, but it seems like everybody involved is begging for it.
Jay Prince said if you keep electing, eventually you're going to get elected. You keep campaigning. You continue to campaign.
That's cute.
So eventually you're going to get elected. Eventually niggas are going to vote for you and you're going to be in that space. And I think maybe the fact that I grew up in Oklahoma and so much of my family, in fact, the majority of my family is now in Houston, is the only reason I really know about that nigga Jay Prince and all that. And so when he came out about the whole Drake situation, I was like, oh, well, listen, I also would do whatever the fuck Jay Prince said. Like Jay Prince said, I'm not finna like play about that shit.
Jay Prince from the iconic Rap-A-Lot records.
Right. And he has been responsible for most of your, if not for like orchestrating the careers, you can bet that most of your Southern rap faves have something to do with Jay Prince in one way or another. He doesn't take no shit. So that whole situation was something else. But he spoke on this Tekashi or whatever his name is, 6ix9ine situation. And I just thought, well, listen, I feel like this little white boy don't really know what he's getting himself into. As far as, like, what's really going on with this situation, like, you talking big shit, thinking that you are important enough to be protected without really knowing what you're getting into, but it is what it is at the same time. So we'll see.
I just believe that the need for validation is like, I want to say sickening, but not. I don't want you to confuse it for not in a compliment.
It's not a compliment, right?
But yeah, like people seek out validation in several kinds of ways. Some people look for it through sex, social media, violence. I'm trying to be the toughest motherfucker that you've ever heard of, and that is how people will validate and respect me. And I'm not saying that any of these things are, well, obviously that is not good, but like, there are ways that you can feel good about yourself or even find validation that aren't detrimental to your health or somebody else's.
Definitely.
But I just, like, if you really live or come from that kind of environment, I feel like after a certain point in your life, you should just be like, especially if you are someone who is recognizable, notable, famous.
Right.
Anyway, whatever. So
I was gonna say, I don't know where Tekashi 6ix9ine comes from, but it can be the same environment as everybody else, because he just talks way too reckless for that to be the case.
Speaking of Jay Prince, he spoke on the Pusha T Drake situation as well. He claims that Drake has already recorded a response to Pusha T's Adonis, the story of Adidon, or however you say that word. He said that the song was overwhelming in terms of how personal and deep a lot of those bars cut. He said, I saw this going to a place that I feel would have ended his career, being Kanye, if Drake would have put out this song that he had on him, and definitely would have hurt families, and we're not in it for that. That's not Drake's character to tear a man down to that extent. Just like a tiny quote or whatever, but he basically says that he spoke to Kanye. Kanye posted some shit about this beef is over or whatever. Like, I don't want it to happen or blah, blah, blah.
He was like, oh, let everybody just stop. It's crossed the lines. It's too much.
I don't care about anything you're talking about.
Right. No, he definitely said that dumb shit.
And of course, you would feel that way after your artist just put out a really great diss record and Drake hasn't
should feel like it's over. Right.
Duh, of course you do. Shut the fuck up. Sit down. I don't know how I feel about this. It's just kind of like, okay, that sounds lovely. You know what would sound even better? The song.
Right. It was like, so here's the thing. I have like a lot of respect for Jay Prince for all that he's done, and apparently being a very, very scary nigga who is not to be fucked with. Like, all the respect in the world for that. Jay Prince, if you happen to hear that, I don't want no smoke with your ass. Like, please understand that. At the same time, I think rap fans just want to, if it's that bad to where it could end Kanye's career, which I sincerely doubt, because the nigga said that he thought enslaved people chose to be there, and he is still number one on iTunes.
With actual Negroes attending his album
and
release.
like, right, you niggas flew out to the middle of Wyoming to go listen to that bullshit, and y'all, I mean, I know probably at least half, if not the majority of his fans are probably white or white identified at this point.
At this point.
Right. So, not that I even don't understand why you went number one, but you went number one, at least as far as Apple and iTunes are concerned.
I didn't even know that, but sure.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. So, my feelings about the whole situation are, if it's that bad to where you feel like it would have ended Kanye's career and destroyed families, as a fan of rap, I want to hear it. I really do. Like, I like Drake. I really do. I like most of his songs. I'm kind of ambivalent, or to the point of liking them for most of them. But Nice for What really struck a chord with my ass. That song, I really identify with that shit.
Great.
I love it, especially with the video. So I get it. I get him saying that, and like, we don't want it to cross the line where niggas start shooting each other again. No, nobody wants that.
I don't see anybody involved doing that.
Nobody wants that. But right, I also do not see Drake or Kanye or even Pusha T, who grew up in the suburbs, no shade, actually pulling a gun over this shit. I don't see y'all doing it. Maybe, but I don't see it. So I would have much preferred to hear whatever this career-ending record is, whatever shit Drake has on Kanye, To a lesser extent to Pusha, because it really sounded like, okay, Pusha, he just lost that. But Drake, he could have really fucked what that nigga got going on up, and his wife would have left him or whatever. I would have rather heard that. I would have rather heard that. But I don't think we're going to get it because I don't know.
I just don't care anymore.
I'm of two minds as far as this situation is concerned. Either Jay Prince stepped up and was like, I'm going to go through and say all this shit and that's going to be the end of it. Or Drake was like, hey, can you go on all the different outlets and say that I'm not allowed to respond because I don't have nothing to say. Like, it was one of those two things. But either way, I will not expect a response from Drake to the shit that Pusha put out about him. Like, I just don't. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as the rap beef part of it is concerned, Pusha definitely won that 100%. Because what does Drake really have? Drake can't combat that. He can't fight it at all. Especially with his mentor, this nigga he's looked up to for so long, being like, Drake's not going to put it out because he gave me his word that it's not going to leak or nothing else. So it's not going to fucking leak.
We'll
it's
put
not.
out something else.
Right. You just going to we're going to have to wait for Scorpion or whatever it's called to come out.
Why is it called Scorpion?
Isn't he a scorpion? Drake, what's it called? Not anatomy sign. Astrological sign.
Anatomy sign.
Well, I don't pay too much. Zodiac, October 24th.
Yeah.
Astrology and natal chart of Drake.
Yeah, I think October 24th.
Yeah, so Drake is a Scorpion, so I'm sure that's why.
Oh, October's very own. I don't know why I just put that together.
Wow, this says Drake is 6'4", really? I saw him at the mall in Dallas during All-Star, and I don't know if I would have thought 6'4", but he was definitely tall. This was years ago, before he needed security and all that. But
well, great. I guess we're done now. Like... This is so boring.
Is there anybody else? Is it just rap news this week?
I didn't have anything else that I saw that was interesting to me.
Bitch, let's talk about Steven Universe.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
Well, last week you were like, how have you not caught up? Oh my God. So I went and caught up and I am fucking shook. So I had seen all of season 4 and maybe the first few episodes of season 5. Mm-hmm. But I had taken a break after Steven left. When he left... So remember when he went back to Homeworld? Oh, yes. Sorry. If you watch Steven Universe and I caught up, you should have taken a break, right? By this point, you should have skipped. So he left Lars over with the other off-colors in Homeworld, and I not stopped watching, but I just got caught up with other mental shit and all that in the meantime. Mm-hmm. So I went back and caught up, and first of all, I was shocked at how much other shit went down in between Steven going back. Like, I thought he would have went back immediately, but it took like several episodes for him to go back to Homeworld. And nigga, for Pink Diamond to be Rose Quartz, for Rose Quartz to be Pink Diamond, I was just like Amethyst. I said, what? At the same time that bitch said it, I was shook. Nigga, what?
The thing is, I
didn't suspect not one fucking thing.
I sort of suspected it around one of the more recent episodes, definitely before that. But when they first started referencing Pink Diamond, there was like a part where they showed her
as a child talking to her mother.
And so around then, something about it, I think really her being pink and Rose being pink, like honestly, was the first thing that like popped up into my head. And then I saw the episode late. Like I saw the latest episode after it had already aired. And thankfully nobody spoiled it, but a couple of people were like, oh my gosh, you thought Infinity Gag was an Infinity Gag? Wait until you watch the
You're
Universe
not ready,
gag.
Bitch. I wasn't ready at all.
And so I thought to myself, I was like, what, Rose is Pink Diamond? But it seemed so like, I don't know, I just assumed that I was wrong because I didn't think, like I didn't really have like any evidence to put it together. It was just something that popped into my mind as a possibility. Mm-hmm. And going into the episode, I was just like, nah, there's no way it's that. It just seems too, like, I just got to that way too easy.
But
then I was thinking like maybe Pearl had killed Pearl had shattered Rose, and that was
because it looked like that,
secret.
definitely.
Right, or like a whole bunch of other stuff, because like the episode was obviously Pearl keeping a secret. And then as it developed more and more and more, and it got later into the episode, I was like, oh my God, this nigga's mama is actually a diamond. Wow. So now I've been going back and watching the whole episode again, because I saw a clip on, I think, the Cartoon Network YouTube page or something like that with Rebecca Sugar talking about it. And she referenced a lot of stuff that's happened in the series already that like points to her being Pink Diamond. And so now I feel like I have to just watch the whole thing over again with this new set of eyes, because there are a lot of moments that have happened already where Pearl, that like show why Pearl behaves the way that she does, or why she has said certain things which we never thought of before. Right. It's just so good. I love the writing and the fact that they knew that they were going to lead up to this for, I'm sure, maybe probably since the beginning, and now we're here.
Yes.
Amazing.
I fucking choked, nigga, at that last episode. The whole time, every time Steven went further into the pearls, I was just like, what is happening? I don't understand. What do you want me to get out of this, Rebecca Sugar? I don't get it. And then at the very end, I was just like, oh, I can't handle this.
I went from thinking that Pearl shattered the diamond to thinking that Pearl shattered his mom. And then once they got, I don't know, there was that moment where she was talking to Pink Diamond.
Right. And then both of those being true.
Right.
Pearl did shatter Pink Diamond.
Yeah.
Pearl did shatter Steven's mom, but Steven just had no idea his mother was a diamond.
Right.
Which just makes me...
Or did she shatter her?
So
she didn't shatter her.
I don't want to say I know for sure. But yes, I think Pearl did shatter Rose Quartz, and that Rose Quartz is Pink Diamond. Because remember at that very end, Rose was like, come on, let's get it over with. I can't shatter myself. So I think that's why Steven had that vision of Pearl doing it, because Pearl did do it. But Pearl didn't like sneak behind Pink Diamond's back and like kill all of her guards or whatever to do it. She just did it because that was her nigga, and she knew what she was doing. And all that time, she couldn't say nothing to nobody. She couldn't say nothing to even Garnet or Amethyst about it. Like, she had to keep it a secret that whole time.
But she didn't really get shattered. Did she?
I think Pink Diamond got shattered.
Because Pink Diamond and
Rose Quartz didn't. So that's the thing.
But Rose Quartz is Pink Diamond.
Right. So where did the two different gems come from? I feel like they're going to reveal that next season, but I'm like stressed out about it right now.
Now I'm confused. Because I thought, okay, so Pink Diamond was pretending to be a rose. Like
a rose quartz.
A rose quartz.
Okay.
And when her fellow diamond sisters, however they're related, said to her not to worry about the rebellion or whatever, because as long as Pink Diamond is there, everything will be straight.
Right.
So that's when she realized, like, oh shit, so I gotta pretend to be shattered so that they can, and make up this story that Pink Diamond died. Right. So that, I can get what I wanted. So they essentially pretended to shatter.
So here's the thing. I think Rose...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because Steven has Rose's gem.
Right.
And if Rose's gem had been shattered, how could it still be present in him? It doesn't make sense. So what I want to know is
But that sword can't shatter gems anyway. Like, Rose's sword doesn't shatter gems.
So then how did it happen?
I think that she pretended to get shattered as the diamond, and then
So where is she now?
Well, she's definitely gone. I mean, she's in she's in Steven's belly button.
Come on, Rebecca Sugar, give us more. I need to know what happened. I'm so upset.
I think I get it.
Okay.
Like, for the most part, it was just something that needed to happen so that she didn't have to be a diamond anymore and she could live her life as Rose Quartz. And the diamonds would think that both of them died or whatever and try to move on, which is why the blue one is always crying and the other one is always pissed. But...
Right. I definitely thought the blue one ordered the hit on their sister or cousin, whatever she was, after that trial.
Yeah.
When the lawyer was like, it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Girl.
How did a Pearl get that close or whatever to your sister? Don't make no fucking sense.
Right.
So the fact that the blue one was like being a bitch and the yellow one was like crying and shit, I said, oh, the blue one ordered the hit on her ass. But it makes a lot more sense for Rose to have been the pink diamond and just against the whole thing from the very beginning.
Right, because she just wasn't into it. I love it. I can't wait to see what's going to happen now that, like, how are the diamonds going to react to Steven when they find out that his mom was actually a diamond?
A diamond! And that's another thing, like, if you can't afford therapy, watching Steven Universe is probably the next best thing because there's so much that goes on in this show that will have you thinking about the relationships you have with people in your life, like, absolutely. And I just felt, I don't know, just so overwhelmed in those last few episodes with, like, the fact that there was such a huge hierarchy, just like humans have with races.
Yeah.
Depending on what, like, when they went to the human graveyard to rescue Greg, when Greg is the daddy's name, right?
Yeah.
When Greg got kidnapped and Steven went to go get him, all that, like the fact that Sapphire and Ruby had to separate and Sapphire was like the bad bitch and Ruby was like the guard and Amethyst was like security and all that shit. It was just like, wow. So even within gem world, there's still like a hierarchy of gems that matter. And everybody bows down to the diamonds, but like...
And that's just been, like, that's been a thing that's followed the series for such a long time, the way that they look at each other, and they've mentioned it a lot. Like, especially with Peridot. Peridot was a huge tool for that a lot of times, because she was so by the book and, like, loved everything.
Peridot was like, y'all got me fucked up. She had her little leg extensions and everything.
She would always be
I'm a Peridot, bitch.
Thrown off by the way that Pearl would speak to everybody, or just the fact that Pearl had free will.
Right. Or like, when she saw Garnet, she was just like, what are you doing? Right. And I didn't realize until later towards the season that, like, Pearls were always, like, the lady in waiting or, like, the bridesmaid head bitch in charge or whatever of the whole situation for the diamonds.
They were assistants.
Right. So Peridot expected her to assist. She was like, what are you doing? Why are you not in service to your diamond? I don't understand what you're doing. Right. Steven Universe is just so good. It's so good. If you're not watching it, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, because that show is fucking perfect.
I need to come out and stay out for more consistent basis. I don't know what it's going to take.
Yeah, it was good to watch it on demand and catch up like I did, because again, every episode is like 12 minutes. So it was so much fun to binge watch the way I did, but oh my God. Steven is a fucking diamond, man. That nigga's descended from a diamond. Oh, so good. So.
All right. Well, that just about wraps up this section. We're going to take a break and come back.
Hey y'all, today's episode of The Read is brought to you from Third Love. They have the measurements of millions of real people, and their bras are designed to fit those of us who really have titties and really have to deal with them, regardless of gender identity. They're just something that sit on our chest. Girl, I understand, like, they're a lot, and I have loved my Third Love bra so much. I've consistently told everybody I know that it is the one bra that I do not take off as soon as I get home, because it is just that comfortable. Wow. You don't have to worry about any more awkward fitting room experiences. I know a lot of us have been at different bra shops and you just like have that white woman with the tape measure and it's just so much and awkward and it's just like, oh my God, girl, I don't want to do this.
I didn't even think about that.
You just have this white woman fondling your titties and it's so awkward with their... It's right. And they just have to like measure the circumference of the titty and all of this. And it's just so much. But with their Fit Finder quiz, Third Love will help you identify your breast shape and find styles that fit your body in less than a minute. You just answer a few simple questions. They have 60 sizes ranging from AA. God, I truly wish it was me. Lord, why is it not me? Through G, including half cups. Third Love guarantees a perfect fit, and they value comfort and quality with straps that won't slip, ultra soft smoothing fabrics, and lightweight memory foam cups. The labels are even tagless, bitch, which is so important because everybody who wears bras know that itch in the middle of your back is the worst, and it will strike in the middle of a very important meeting or presentation or something like that.
You have to pick your bra strap.
And then you have to just kind of like play it off like you're not scratching the middle of your back when you absolutely are. Returns and exchanges are always free and easy with Third Love, and they know there's a perfect bra for everybody who has titties. So right now, they are offering our listeners 15% off your first order. Just go to thirdlove.com/read right now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/READ for 15% off today. Do something magnificent for your titties, girl. They deserve. All right, let's move on with the show.
Okay, we're back, and it's time for listener letters.
Hootie hoo. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. They may just be read aloud on the show. We are going to start off with some E3 predictions and expectations. This one comes from Eddie, who says, "Hey, Kid Fury and Crystal. My question is, what are you guys looking forward to at E3 in terms of games? Do you have any predictions? I personally am looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out
Fuck yeah, you are.
later this year, unless it gets delayed, in which case I will go see my therapist instead and explain how false hope has broken the spirit inside me. Thank you so much. Love, Eddie. Eddie, I don't know what's happening at E3. I would love to see if there are updates to the Zelda game. Probably not, since they've already put out the DLC. But
I mean, they may shock you and be like, hey, we're adding some new stuff.
Maybe.
You know, it's still a pretty popular game. A lot of people, it's such a big game.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably still haven't even finished it. You know, obviously they get, so it's a possibility.
Okay.
I think maybe you should pay attention to Smash Brothers then.
Really? Like Mario?
Sure. Yes. Mario is one of the main characters since, you know, he is Nintendo. Nintendo is Mario. But it's several mostly Nintendo characters coming together and fighting and throwing fun items at each other, and all with the objective of knocking your opponents off of the map or off of the screen.
I love that.
It's addictive. It's fantastic. And now that we will be able to take it on the go, like officially, and not like some rundown 3DS version, I just can't. And I know that they're showing that because it's already confirmed. You will own Smash Brothers and you will be good at it. That I will make sure of.
I have the other Mario game, the Rabbit one.
That game is great.
Not so good at that one.
I'm also terrible at it. It's a strategy game, and I'm not the most strategic person.
Up to a certain level, I'm great. And then past that one level, I'm trash.
I'm looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3 obvi, and we're actually going to be in LA during E3, so...
Are we really? Is that next week?
It's next week.
Oh, okay.
Literally, I think, like, every day that we're there. Like, I think it starts...
I just plan to call everybody I know in LA and be like, you want to get high?
Right. There's that. I'm going to do that, too. But I would love to... I mean, I just can't wait to see whatever they're going to show at Kingdom Hearts. For Kingdom Hearts. I feel like there's a possibility they'll give an official release date. And you can tag on, like, a couple more months to that, because I don't buy it. Like, sure, whatever.
Haven't you been talking about Kingdom Hearts?
For the length of this show.
Has it not come out at all since we've been on air?
It's allegedly coming out this year. They're making great
progress.
progress.
Have you been waiting all this time for Kingdom of Hearts?
Over a decade. So glad to be at the home stretch here. That looks like it's
really
going to
fucking
be
with y'all.
Fantastic. The Last of Us Part 2, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see whatever Death Stranding is supposed to be. Please just show us some gameplay of it. Thanks so much. Love you much. Excited. Hopefully the remake for Final Fantasy VII will be shown. And other than that, I don't know what to predict. I would like... what do I want to see? I know they're putting Fortnite on the Switch. I'm not getting it. I wish I was good at that game, man.
Is E3 a Nintendo conference or is it just a gaming conference?
Video games
in general. Got it.
But like a lot of big gaming companies have conferences, like a keynote, if you will.
Of course.
Nintendo has one. PlayStation has one.
One of their
Xbox
CEOs pretended to be Japanese when he's not.
Who?
Whose CEO pretended to be Asian when he's really white as fuck?
I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds familiar.
Tatiana tweeted about it, and I was like, what? Hold on. I'll look it up.
Is there anything else that's been stewing on my mind?
Marvel. The editor-in-chief of Marvel pretended to be a Japanese man.
I did hear about that. I just lost the one last game.
Game you were thinking of? Sorry.
Beyond Good and Evil, too.
What is that? What is Beyond Good and Evil? That sounds scary.
It's not. It's like a fantasy game. I don't really know what direction they're going with in this next one. But I will just say that the original Beyond Good and Evil came out on the PlayStation 2. We are now at 4, and they could announce 5, really, at any point at this point.
Okay.
So another game that I probably played when I was in junior high school, or something like that, finally getting a sequel, and it looks like it's really great. And there's a black woman who looks to be playable, and she's got a big old fro and a sword. So I'm all in.
So she's Rose Quartz.
Sure.
Okay. I like it as well.
I mean, other than that, I don't really
it?
know. I also had an E3 read.
Are you going to E3?
Hopefully. Hey,
Okay.
if any of you are listening out there and you want to invite me to E3,
Send an email to his manager. He's not going to check his email.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I just won't say anything. But
Do you know people email the read looking for you? And I'm like, what?
don't email everybody. I would love to go. I really, really can't wait to see what they're going to announce.
Let me see if anybody invited you. There might be an invite for you in the inbox, and I just haven't seen it yet.
So excited. This is going to be like a huge... I know I need to be at E3 this year because it's going to be such a big year. They're announcing so many great... they've confirmed so many titles that people are already excited about. And I just can't wait to see what they haven't announced, the surprises.
Mm-hmm.
So exciting. It's literally like a second Christmas.
Okay, great. Did you mention Assassin's Creed or Brown Egyptians? Oh, there are
Brown Egyptians.
There are Brown Egyptians in Assassin's Creed.
All right. Well, you're talking about a game that came out.
Right.
I own it.
I don't get that.
I have that one. Oh, they're making another Spider-Man game for PlayStation 4. That looks like it'll actually be good. And I hope that you can play as Miles Morales in it too.
Okay. Yeah, I know him. That's the boy from Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yes. Amen. All right. So our next question comes from Rocco. Rocco said, so I have been dealing with this guy for about 3 years off and on, but the last 3 months we decided that we want to start dating. Mind you, I had no idea that he still had desires to sleep with women, but the other day, he came over to my house, we smoked, and he blurted out that he got high the night before and slept with a random girl.
Okay.
I already know he is bisexual, so of course I knew this was a possibility, but my issue is that he told me in such a nonchalant way like I'm one of his friends. We have started saying that we love each other, and he always comes around me and has been so open to getting to know me on a deeper level, like I've requested. My question is, even though we're not in an exclusive relationship, do I have a right to be upset with the way he told me about this information? Or should I just expect this type of thing to happen since he is bisexual? If either of you have dealt with a bisexual person, please share your experience. Thanks, and I love the show. Love, Rocco. Rocco's clearly a man.
What did I... Yep.
Yeah, figured you got that.
What did he call them in terms of the status? This is his...
He said they're dating. So he felt like it was inappropriate for
him to say
the
that I
young
slept
man
with
to be
somebody?
like, hey, girl, I randomly slept with somebody else. How do you... Well, I guess he didn't even really ask how you felt about it. He just told you that it happened.
Okay.
So my thing about this is, unless you two have committed verbally to being in a relationship,
what I was gonna say, yeah,
then it doesn't really matter who all he slept with. And the fact that he told you he slept with a girl just means that he's comfortable talking about his bisexuality with you, which is a great thing.
Right.
But if you all are dating, I don't know, maybe y'all are just young, and so that's different from something that my old ass is used to. But, like, unless the both of us have said we are in an exclusive relationship with one another, we're not dating or fucking nobody else, then it is what it is. So, right. So, y'all are dating, sure, and maybe y'all been fucking for a while.
Until we have that conversation, I'd be assuming you fucking other people.
Exactly.
And I'm might not even be sleeping with anybody else myself. But I probably am not, to be honest with you.
Right, but I'm going to assume you are.
I'm definitely going to assume you are until one of us has a conversation otherwise, or leading to otherwise.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I kind of don't really know what else you could have wanted from this situation. I definitely have dated bisexual guys before. I can't say I've dated anyone that I know identifies as bisexual in a while. But when I did, I always thought, well, if you're truly someone who's bisexual, you're going to desire something sexually that I just can't give you because I don't have a vagina.
Right.
But
he
all
also
I could
likes
ask,
it too.
Right. So I can give you.
You can give you a round. I got some boy stuff for you.
I can only work with what I was given.
That's true.
And so I'm going to imagine that you're going to want to sleep with other people. Even if you only had eyes for me in terms of how guys are, if you are attracted to women, you're going to probably want to sleep with a woman at
some point.
At some point. And I definitely wasn't even at an age where I'm thinking, like, you need to suppress that shit, honey. You're going to have to live, because...
Right.
I mean, it can't be whatever. So people need to be able to understand and acknowledge the fact that you can, for certain reasons or in certain relationships, resist temptation. We're just kind of in this phase, I think, now where human beings, especially cisgender men, are just expected to be animalistic when it comes to sex, and have no boundaries or discipline. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if this nigga is bi, y'all are dating, you're saying you love each other, but you're not saying we're committed to one another. If he had sex with a girl and he told you, I can't really think of, anything more in that situation. Would you have liked it if he didn't tell you that he slept with the girl?
Would it be better if he slept with a man somehow? Because that's your own biphobia showing, if so. I'm
just confused, really. If he had slept with a girl and then you found out because you went in his phone or the bitch DM'd you or something like that, then I can understand you being, having feelings about it. But again, if you haven't had a conversation that says you and I are exclusive, at least for this sexual thing, then...
Yeah. I feel like if you're not in an exclusive relationship, then he did a really nice thing by telling you who he's sleeping with, who isn't you.
Because these niggas won't.
Right. And they will just assume that you know better. So I think it's great that he told you. Now, as a cis woman, I know a lot of other cis women who feel a way about their man sleeping with men versus sleeping with women.
I want to say most.
Right, of course. But as a queer woman, I don't really give a fuck about who you cheat on me with.
Hello?
What matters is that you cheated. I don't care what genitals that person had or what gender identity that person has. That means nothing to me.
My whole thing was always and still is to this day, but with every nigga I've dated with, it's I need communication with you about these things.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're bisexual and stuff. It's I need you to have that open communication with me about how you're feeling, how that could affect us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that most niggas are not trained on the art of communication or honesty. But at the same time, like I said, this dude is bisexual. He slept with a girl. He told you that he did. It probably hurt your feelings a little bit because you don't want him to be sleeping with other people or whatever. And if that's the case, then you need to have a conversation with him about that.
Right.
And figure out how they can work, if it can work, et cetera, et cetera. But if you haven't talked about that yet and that nigga slept with somebody else, regardless of the gender, that's something that you honestly should have just kind of expected. I don't care how long you've been dating. You could have been dating for a year, or longer. If you aren't saying, hey, girl, so about this, genital thing.
Yes.
I've got a home for yours. You've got a home for mine.
They fit together like pepperoni and cheese in a Hot Pocket. And I just needed
fit.
I just need us to microwave together and get hot together and with no one else.
So,
and if you are not in an exclusive relationship, then I don't think you have the right to be upset. I really don't.
I don't
Sorry.
either. Like, I don't. I mean, I can understand you being in your feelings. I totally get it.
Right. But being in your feelings does not necessarily mean you are rationally being in your feelings.
Right. That's true. Exactly. So, I mean, I can't think of what this guy you're dating did wrong. I think that he actually did the right thing by keeping that layer of openness with you. And whenever you do have a conversation with him, I think that you should make it a point to say that you want to continue having that. Because what you don't want to do is come at him on some wild shit for telling you that he slept with some other person, and then he was just like, okay, well, now when I fuck other people, I'm going to keep it to myself. You know?
Right.
But
you can kiss my ass about it. That would be something else. So
yeah, that's all I've got for Rocco.
I would take it where it is. I meant to bring this up during the video game questions, but do you play The Sims?
I just re-entered The Sims.
So you know about like The Sims world? Because we had a question from Damien who said he asked if you had a play style. Are you excited for the season expansion? And what would you like to see for the Sims 5?
Here's the thing about the Sims fans. Okay. Like, the Sims fans, it's like a weird cult. People who play the Sims, like, they are, like, addicted to the Sims. And I've also noticed that many people who play the Sims, it's, like, the only game they play.
Okay.
So, like, I'm playing The Sims 4 now, and it's the first Sims game that I've played, I have to say, since maybe I tried The Sims 2 for a little bit, and I felt like it was just way too different from the shit I was used to playing. Because at one point, there was like The Sims, and I guess it had expansions, but the expansions were like the sequel for me. It was The Sims, and then it was like, oh, you can have pets, you can have kids, da-da-da-da. And then they made a sequel, and I was like, what the fuck we need a Sims 2 for? Just keep adding shit to it. Whatever. And then I kind of fell off. They did a whole bunch of expansions for that. Then they did The Sims 3 and a whole bunch of expansions for that. Now here we are at The Sims 4. And The Sims 4 has been out for a minute. I don't even know exactly how I got sucked back into The Sims. But I was just like, I remember when I was a kid playing The Sims, it was fun to me to just kind of be a sociopath and like create characters that I knew would hate each other and then see how much they hated each other. I would delete doors after they went into a room and then watch them starve, or take the ladder out of a pool until they drowned. Like, you know, just like I was that horrible kind of human being. I don't even know
leave them in a burning room or whatever.
Right. And they would literally just like walk around in circles and shit themselves and then like eventually starve to death. It was horrible. But
that is terrible.
I mean, you know, I was younger. I don't even think you can do that kind of stuff now. Now I'm like interested in like, it's more like a game these days where you have like, you have to choose a career and you have to speak to people a certain kind of way now if you want them to have a relationship, and you can't like press the same button over and over again because they'll remember what you talked about. If you try to kiss somebody and they don't want to kiss you, they'll be like, and then you'll see a little thing that comes up that was like, awkward situation, and then we want to leave. Like, it's way more intuitive and has a lot more depth to it than it did when I was like, I don't know, 16, 15 years old, however. But the thing with me in The Sims is it would always get boring after I played it for a couple of days.
Yeah, I never got into it because I just was never able to see them through their life changes, like getting married and having kids and all that. I think I just checked out like way before my Sims were able to do anything like that. It just took too much gameplay for me to even get to that point. But I know a lot of people really love that game, and I didn't know if you played it, so I wanted to give you the chance to at least talk about it if you hadn't before. So
The Sims is cool. I'm glad that all of you guys like it. It's great. It's like a fun time for me. It's mostly just about making women with sickening fashion choices and then torturing the men if I can. Okay,
I love that. So for this next letter, I want you to pick a feminine name. Just whatever first comes to mind.
Vamula.
Vamula says, I love you guys' podcast. I've been a listener since Kid Fury and now sit on his YouTube channel. You guys literally get me through each and every week at my shit job. Shout out to you, girl. I know what that's like.
Yep.
What did you say her name was? Tamula? Vamula said, my husband and I have a fundamental difference about this disagreement with Kanye.
Divorce him.
I know y'all have a K Kardashian embargo, but I need to let this out, and my therapy is until Friday. That's real.
Sure.
My husband is fake woke.
Well,
one minute, he talks about how important it is for Black people to be inspired by their own bosses and create lanes for themselves and be all they can be. However, this nigga somehow develops amnesia when Kanye is brought up in any type of discussion. When Kanye went on TMZ talking about how our ancestors were clocking in and out of the plantation by choice, my husband wanted to play devil's advocate and said that it's contextual and you can't take it literally. Well, Kanye could have meant that choosing not to revolt and remain slaves are the choice. Which is still so dumb.
Like it doesn't... Okay. Sure.
Like, it's not really much of a choice when you know that revolt means death. I just don't know if y'all get that, but that is definitely what this boils down to. It was either do what we say or be murdered.
You're going to die. You're
going to die, period. So, she mentioned all that and then said, I rolled my eyes to that and read his ass. I read his ass to filth with actual facts about why everything this nigga was saying was bullshit and how our ancestors are rolling in the grave. He came around and I thought he saw the issue on why he was wrong. We put this to rest and I sold all his ugly ass Yeezys with his... I'm so sorry. The tequila has gotten to me. I sold all his ugly ass Yeezys with his permission and we moved on. Fast forward to this new Kanye album drop. I made it very clear to him and all my friends that I don't want no part of that and he will not get any of the money I worked my ass off for. My husband understood because he doesn't bring it up to me at all. However, I found this new Kanye album on his Apple Music downloads that I pay for. She put all this in caps.
Oh, hell no.
This nigga has been streaming his fucking album since it came out, giving this nigga my money in caps.
Why don't you... Okay.
I know we're married and it's technically our money, but when it comes to supporting a black-ass Uncle Tom who openly supports a bigot and tells us in our faces that slavery was a choice while trying to sell these ugly-ass overpriced clothes and shoes, that's where I draw the motherfucking line. I'm fed up because this seems indicative of a way bigger issue. My question is, should I leave my husband? I know this seems drastic, but if he continues to support a coon like Kanye, I'm forced to believe there is a core fundamental difference in the way in which we are seeing the world, which I believe would be a problem if we have children in the future. If he was just my boyfriend, I would have been gone when he tried to play devil's advocate. I'm frustrated because before this Kanye shit, we were on the same page fundamentally for the past 6 years. Please help. Love, Vamate. Vamula.
So, hear them. I just feel like... I
just want you to know, we had like at least 18 letters about people who were like, I'm arguing with my husband about this Kanye shit. What should we do? Like, this is very common.
I won't say you should leave your husband. I will say that if you left your husband and told me this was the reason why, I wouldn't tell you were doing too much. I wouldn't be like, oh, but you left him? Like,
right.
You didn't have to leave him, girl. Like, I would totally
I would
get
understand. It. Yes, absolutely.
I would be on your side fully and completely in that situation. So that's really all I would say about that. I mean, alternative maybe is to talk to somebody. Like, if you feel that strongly and you're honestly like, I think I might want to leave this nigga. Because honestly, if I was married to a nigga who felt that exact way, I would want to, at the very least, be away from you for an extended period of time.
Because that would upset me to a major extent.
Like, I don't even know how I would look at you. And, you know, your home is where you're supposed to have peace of mind.
Exactly.
And I just can't walk around here with a peace of mind in front of a piece of shit.
Right. And honestly, like, I thought about this letter and how I have my own apartment and have been blessed to be able to afford to live alone in New York City for the past few years. And I just could not let somebody into my home who felt this way about Kanye West. Like, you're not putting his fucking album, especially if I pay for your Apple Music. If you pay for it, that's something else.
Why does your husband have his own Apple Music account?
Because a family plan is only like $3 or $4 more per month, and you can share it with up to 5 people. So if it's
on Apple Music?
Yeah. So if you have literally more than one person, it's worth it to just split the cost 3, 4, 5 ways and let that be that. So I get it.
No clue.
Yeah, no. Apple Music is a way better deal if you're not single and refuse to share your things like we do. But right, but since we are that way, we don't know nothing about that. And since you are sharing your Apple Music with your husband, you're paying, you the one who get that $13, $14.99 a month charge every month from iTunes. And I know you'd be very annoyed to think that your money is going towards Kanye West. I also would be pissed if I thought my money was going to support Kanye West. Because the things that nigga has been saying, regardless of us having the same fake stage last name or whatever, like, I just could not ride with that shit at any point. It would upset me so greatly. So I understand you being like, I don't know what to do here. I also, as much as I say leave these niggas, I'm not going to tell you to leave your nigga over Kanye.
I didn't either.
Right. I'm not going to tell you to do that, even though I truly do, to the bottom of my heart, understand. But I'm not going to tell you to leave over Kanye. I will say, take Kanye as a warning sign and look at that nigga twice. And make sure you keep your eyes open when it comes to that nigga, because there's just such a low bar for straight cisgender men in our community. We literally require the absolute least out of these niggas. The very fucking bare minimum. And so if he's willing to support Kanye and listen to his music after all the dumb shit he has said, he is probably problematic in other ways that deserve your attention. So I would say pay closer attention to the dumb shit your husband is doing, but not necessarily to divorce him off of this, because that is very drastic and that is a lot.
Because it's really not even about Kanye anyway. It's about his state of mind.
Right. It's about his state of mind and the fact that your husband is willing to overlook that behind an album, which I don't get. I don't get that. I don't understand how Kanye's music is worth more to you than the things he has said about our ancestors who died so that we could do the dumb shit we do every day.
Yeah, that would be a big eye-opener for me, and I would take it deeply into consideration about how I feel about my husband or however. Because they didn't mention anything about children, did they?
They haven't had children yet, but she's thinking about it as far as the future is concerned.
I would never want for the father of my kids to express that around our black kids. Like, I would be pissed.
I would be so upset.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not even, it's not even that, I feel like, and I've said this already, if you want to go and support Kanye West, you want to listen to Kanye West anyway, whether you're black, gray, indigo, I don't care what color you are. That's your business. And you're allowed to do that. But I don't understand how people are legit trying to make excuses for him when he's dead as wrong. He should know better, and y'all should know better. At this point, it's just like, you know what, I hate myself, or I don't even really care. You know, I want to listen to it anyway, and that's just kind of the end of it. Yeah, that nigga was wrong. Yeah, that shit don't make no motherfucking sense. And yeah, somebody needs to do something, but I just can't. I can't get away from Kanye West music. I just love it so much. Like,
I don't understand those feelings, but at least he is able to say that to you if that is the case.
I mean, I don't even know the name of a song on that. Like, when I tell you I'm not paying.
People have asked me about that album over and over, and I'm like, I have no idea what's on that album because I refuse to look it up.
I know he got into trouble over some sample shit or whatever like that, some uncleared samples or whatever. Couldn't tell you what was sampled, couldn't tell you what song, never heard it, not gonna hear it. I don't care. It's just that easy for me. Especially because if I ever did really just want to go on a Kanye West binge or listen to some Kanye West whatever from out of nowhere, I could still very easily go and listen to the music from when he was speaking up for us and not speaking down.
Right.
If I felt so. I can't even see myself doing that anytime in the near future, honestly, because the sting is still there.
The sound of his voice makes me angry.
Right. At this point, I just get pissed.
Right.
Just at the thought of him.
So, this is a lot, girl, but As much as we champion breaking up with these niggas, we don't really want you to file for divorce over this. We just want you to take this as a very serious, very large warning sign, a red flag. Definitely. This is not something to overlook. Because of all the people to be able to cut off behind some dumbass shit, Kanye West should be pretty easy. No shade. You should just be pretty easy to cut off. So, don't understand why your man is acting like that. But let's wrap it up this week with a letter from Garnet, who says, I'm getting married next summer. I've always considered myself to be progressive, especially compared to my traditional, aka plain old ignorant and homophobic Jamaican family. I have always had gay friends. My family even went through a phase of questioning my sexuality because of the gay friends in my circle. I even have a close male friend who I asked to be my bridesmaid. The issue I'm having is with a gay acquaintance who I let know to look out for an invitation to the wedding festivities. He is a female alter ego and often dresses in women's clothes. A couple weeks ago, my fiancé was in a conversation with him on social media when he revealed his intention to wear a white dress to our wedding. My fiancé said he wasn't sure that was a good idea and to check with me first. My friend responded, people who invite me to events know what to expect.
What does that mean?
Now, I certainly expected him to come through and slay, but not in no damn white dress. Bitch, we're grown as fuck. And we've been to too many fucking weddings for you to know the only person expected to wear white is the damn bride. Now I have a dilemma. I really wanted him to come and destroy the scene with his look, but not at my expense on my day. I support my friends and all people with different lifestyles from my regular. She really put regular. Of
course she did.
Sis ass.
I'm not shocked.
But come on now, girl. My question is, should I snatch that invite back or not allow pettiness to keep a potential friend from my big day? Thanks in advance for the advice. Love the show, Garnet, which is a fake name I gave her at her request.
I mean, I'm just going to say, from my personal opinion, I hate weddings, you know.
Oh, God, I love them.
They're so stupid. They're so long. They're so drawn out and just the most. Like, honestly, just jump over the fucking broom so we can eat.
This is true.
Ugh.
But I still love them.
But I feel like I know enough. I've seen too many people, like, intentionally... I don't want to say dumb down, but you know what I'm saying? Like, dress lighter than they would probably because it's the bride's day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people who are friends of someone who's getting married and they're just like, I want to wear this big fancy gown or dress or whatever, but they sort of just tone it down a taste. Right. So that the bride could be the prettiest bitch in the room.
It's her day, nigga.
It's her day.
Right.
You know, and it's not even like a law. It's definitely not something that you have to do. And plenty of brides probably wouldn't give a shit either way. But the fact that, like, his response is, people who invite me out know what to expect. Bitch, you're not going to brunch. Nigga, right. You're not going to happy hour.
Tell him again.
You're going to your friend's wedding. Like...
It's not okay.
Why would you wear a white dress to... That's just... It's not okay. It's dumb. It's tacky. It's doing the most. It's not giving that. And if he can't understand that, I honestly would be like, okay, girl, well, maybe you can stream it.
Right. So the thing is, like, I'm all for your gay friend being as expressive, maybe even in a feminine way, which seems to be the issue here.
Wear a peach dress.
You can do whatever you want. Like, right, wear a peach fucking halter top and skirt as far as I'm concerned. But what you're not going to wear is a white dress to a wedding when I think it has been wedding etiquette for at least the past 100 years to not wear white. Because the bride is wearing white. Like, I feel like that is so common that it should not even have to be said.
But somebody said it to you and you still don't seem to understand.
And this man, so what I would do, I would not uninvite him. I would not snatch his invite. What I would do is hit him up privately. I'm assuming you're closer to him than your fiance is. And your fiance already said, look, nigga, I don't think that's no good idea.
Right.
I don't think that's going to work out. So I would hit him up privately and be like, please don't come to my wedding wearing a white dress because it's not the dress that will get you turned away, it's the white. So Don't
Straight
play
like
with me,
that.
nigga. Don't play with me. Like,
Straight like that. I don't want to see.
I'm the only bitch in white at this ceremony.
No white, no ivory,
and
no
everybody
eggshell.
at the door has been instructed to turn away anyone who is wearing more than 49.5% white. So what you need to do is find another dress or outfit. I don't give a fuck. You can wear 6-inch heels to my wedding, bitch. What you can't do is put on white. And the only reason that matters is because you care. If you didn't give a fuck, then I would say, listen, let him wear whatever he wants to. But it's your wedding. You're the bitch getting married. You're the one paying for other niggas to show up. Therefore, you get to dictate how you want things to go. And if you don't want nobody else in white on your day, then you get to have it that way. You just do. So your gay friend has to adjust to that same way your straight cis female friend would have to adjust to that. I don't get to wear my favorite white dress to my friends' weddings. I don't get to do that.
Why would you even want to?
Exactly. Why would I even want to? That is their day to put on what they want to put on. So I'm going to let them have that.
Like, I can't think of anybody who is going to a wedding that isn't theirs.
Right.
Like, I'm going to wear this white dress. Like, what?
Like, I'm actually going to just beat your ass instead. How about that? Like, he definitely deserves that. But I would say tell him in advance, if you show up in white, you're getting turned away at the door, nigga. So please don't try me. Please put on your chartreuse instead. Because if you wear white, ecru, tooth, anything close to white, off-white, beige, any of that shit to my wedding, you're getting turned away at the door. So please don't fucking play with me. I feel like that's really all that needs to be said. Let him try it from that point on, but you've laid the groundwork for what is acceptable and what will happen if he doesn't follow the rules, and it's up to him to do that. So I would leave it right there, but you know, girl, you're the one paying for this shit, and weddings are not cheap, so you're allowed to have it your way, and if niggas don't want to act like they can follow your rules, and they get to just not come to your party. Like, it's your shit. It is your celebration. Can't nobody tell you how to have it. So that's what I would do, girl. Yeah. Good luck to you, though. If anybody else has questions, make sure to send those to asktheread@gmail.com, and we shall return.
Hey guys, support for today's episode comes from Squarespace. Think it, dream it, and make it with Squarespace, where you can get beautiful templates that are created by world-class designers. Squarespace makes it easy to turn your idea into a new and unique website. You can customize everything from the look and feel to settings and products, all optimized for mobile right out of the box with built-in search engine optimization. You can showcase your work or blog, publish content, announce a special project, even sell products and services of all kinds in just a few clicks, and it is so easy to use. And you can also use Squarespace's analytics so that you can help your website grow in real time. That's also very important. And one of my favorite things about Squarespace is that you never have to install, patch, or upgrade anything ever. Because the first time I had to do that running my own website, I wanted to pull out my own eyes. If you do have a question, though, you can hit up Squarespace's award-winning 24/7 customer support, because they're always there to help. Very easy to work with. So keep dreaming and make it a reality with the websites from Squarespace. You can head to squarespace.com/read for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code READ to save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/READ, offer code READ. Let them know we sent you, and let's move on.
Hey, y'all, don't forget today's episode is brought to you by Talkspace, the online therapy company that lets you message a licensed therapist from anywhere and at any time. All you need is a computer with internet connection or the Talkspace mobile app installed to your smartphone. That means you can improve your mental health, even if you've had trouble making time for it in the past. I know I've told y'all lots of times, but last year I went through a lot of bullshit, and my Talkspace therapist helped me get to a point where I didn't feel like utterly hopeless about myself and my life. It has been so helpful to me. Remember that therapy isn't just about venting your innermost thoughts or digging into childhood memories, although you can definitely also get into those things as well. Having a therapist simply provides you with a designated neutral third-party person for you to talk to who is trained to listen and to help you make positive changes. The Talkspace platform has over 2,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing the life challenges that we all face. So to match with your perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, go to Talkspace.com/read and use offer code READ to get $45 off your first month. That's code READ, Talkspace.com/READ. Let Talkspace know that Kid Fury and Crystal over at The Read sent you. Talkspace is therapy for how we live today. Shit is very modern and shit like that. So check it out. Let them know we sent you. And now let's wrap up the show.
Okay, so we're on to the read. And for me, I don't really have anything. I just 2 quick things, and they're honestly going to be quick this time. Okay. First of all,
sure they are.
I'm going to once again point out that Chris Rock, I don't know if he was hosting or introing Choosy Slaves in his album situation, but at some point during that, he said that hip-hop is the first art form created by the free black
yes.
man.
We talked about this in Toronto. I forgot about that.
Hip-hop is the first art form created by the free black man, and that nobody takes advantage of their freedom like Kanye West. First of all, why are you even there?
Are you sure?
Secondly, like, are you absolutely sure? Like, I don't even know. Okay, we could just start with the whole hip-hop is the first art form created by the free black men situation. Like, I don't know if that free is supposed to be like a metaphor. I don't know what like, there's jazz, there's rock, there's country. There's so many other... And you're not even talking about musical genres. You said art form. Like, right. So really, we could go in like hundreds, if not thousands, of different directions just in the past however many 100 years. But I don't like, it just is like irksome to me that not only are people still like on this whole Kanye train, which again I said is fine if that's what you want to do for whatever your motherfucking reasons are, but also like piping him up, hyping him up,
right,
and like saying shit that don't even make no motherfucking sense. Like, what are you talking about? Plus, even if we want to stick in hip-hop, there are so many black artists way before, like, even at the forefront of hip-hop, like, you know what I'm saying, the Public Enemies and, you know, KRS-One, NWA, all of these rappers that have been out forever, long before Kanye West was thinking about rap, that have taken advantage. I just don't even understand what that statement was supposed to be. Like, y'all could just go and have a good time and leave the rest of us alone. So that annoyed me.
That's real.
Also, with that album being #1, I heard he said something about thanks so much to everybody supporting him anyway.
Yeah. Everybody who didn't boycott, which I stopped reading right there. Because I definitely did.
That lets me know he'll be ignorant for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, only the thing that has been annoying me is all of the people who are leaking stuff for E3, really. I don't know why the fuck people can't just, like, let a surprise happen anymore. Y'all motherfuckers all, like children, like 14-year-olds, no, like, are going into the source code for websites and stuff and looking up, like, all kinds of information, somehow finding it. It's easy. They're doing it from, like, their iPhones.
They don't give a fuck.
During homeroom. It's not even difficult. They're leaking, like multi-billion-dollar corporations.
By third period, they have wrecked your plans.
They're on, like, the New York Post at, like, lunch.
I live. These kids, man.
One of the most exciting things for me for E3 for like most of my adolescence and up until today was seeing all of the surprises. Like, oh shit, they're about to make a new this or a sequel to that, or oh, what is this game? And like, that was a big part of the hype, was getting that surprise, especially if it's something that you were hoping for and then they get it. Why so many of y'all, and it's really, this could be said for stuff outside of video games. People do this to musicians. People do this for TV and film and all kinds of stuff. It's just like the thing to do now is leak shit. But for whatever reason, it's been bothering me like crazy that so many people are leaking announcements for E3. Let them surprise us. That is a bulk of the fun.
Let them do that.
Like, what?
That's most of it as far as I'm concerned.
They've literally leaked like a huge portion of a lot of stories for E3 for many different companies and developers and stuff like that. And it's just like my nigga, E3 is in a few days. When some of this stuff leaked, it was like a week out, maybe 2 weeks out. Like, Sid, but you still gotta wait for the game to come out, bitch. So you gotta wait anyway. Like, damn, stop ruining things for everybody. Let people have fun.
How do they even know? Like, do they just stalk these websites and wait for somebody to update anything?
I don't know. I think that sometimes they go through, okay, so like, for instance, just out of nowhere, there's a game called Hitman, which is an old franchise. They released a newer, like, reboot of it in 2016. You literally play a Hitman. That's all you need to know. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know, one way or the next, maybe somebody was hinting at the fact that they had it. No, I think somebody put a teaser out. Okay. Like, that they were going to announce something. Maybe today, like Thursday, I think is when they were supposed to officially announce it. Oh, okay. And so, somebody went to the website, I think, for Warner Brothers, because I think Warner Brothers is publishing it now. And I don't know if you even have to hack. I know you could really go up to the top of your browser and most of these things and go to like view source code or right click or something like that. It's not hard. It's not difficult at all. Not at all. And you just have to kind of know what you're looking for. And someone found like the logo for Hitman 2 on the website. I can't. And leaked it, I guess, to Reddit or one of those websites, 4chan, one of these places where kids are awful.
Okay, not 4chan. Not 4chan.
I don't know how to use it. Reddit is another website, thank you, that I look at it and I'm just like, what is happening? Like, I do
like Reddit, but Reddit can be too much at times.
Genuinely don't understand how to use it. But the point I'm trying to make...
Just a message board.
Fine. Just let these people, like, stop ruining people's fucking surprises. So many people have worked really, really hard in, like, keeping secrets and most of these things, if by the time they're ready to show it at E3, they've been working on it for multiple years. Right. So, like, be patient. Stop being fucking Grinches or horrible people and ruining all of our fun.
Right, because that's trash. Like, let people enjoy the things that there are left to enjoy in the Trump administration. Just let them have them.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. Because now when you
Fury have his damn video games, girl. He has nothing else.
True.
So let him hold on to that little bit of joy from these electronics companies. Why is that so hard to do? That's what I don't get. Like, why won't people just let y'all be happy with y'all's bullshit? I don't get it.
Because nerds are very erratic and impulsive, and also probably have spent so much time inside being nerds that it's nothing for them to find these things, and it's just fun, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. But I don't understand why people want to spoil a surprise for a video. Like, if you really love video games, I don't understand why you can't just wait. Because now when the conferences start and every game they announce, you already knew that it was coming out. It's like, right. Girl, you could have just sent out a press release and just gave us links to the videos or the trailers and then saved a whole bunch of money on this whole performance and shit. Because they be in there, PlayStation especially, be in there having fucking Hamilton on stage. And then we'll break into a trailer for a video, and then it's like Cats. And then it's another trailer, and then it's like...
Which is a musical I still have not seen.
Me neither, but I keep hearing really great things about it.
I'm not going to watch a musical about fucking cats.
I've heard it's really, like, surprisingly
it's
amazing.
Older than I am.
Me too.
I feel like I should go see it, but I just won't.
Maybe one of these days I'll go and watch it.
You know what? I'm going to buy 2 tickets and surprise you and be like, we're going.
Okay.
I think that's the only way we're actually going to go.
It's probably the only way I'm going. Well, that's it for me.
Okay, so for me, first of all, I totally agree that nerds should just let other nerds enjoy whatever they get their nerd shit from. Yeah. Especially when we are in a situation where, like, so few people have access to joy. Let niggas have their joy, girl. I just feel like it's so important.
If you're going to leak anything, why not leak things that could crumble the current White House administration?
Right. How do we do that?
Like, let's leak good stuff.
That would be great. So last April, when President Obama was in office, if you can believe that or not,
Oh, shit.
Right. The Treasury Secretary announced that Alexander Hamilton would remain on the $10 bill, but that Harriet Tubman would be on the $20 bill.
So now we're not getting that.
Yeah, well, right. Allegedly not. So opposite of Andrew Jackson, who was a slaver, Harriet Tubman was announced to be on the $20 bill, and everybody was like very, very excited and all this. But I thought, they're saying this is going to take a few years to implement at the minimum. And by that time, Donald Trump will be in office. So it sounds like that won't ever happen. And today, guess what came out? Just guess, my nigga.
We're not getting Harriet.
The Trump administration declared that they don't have any updates regarding the progress of getting Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill, and they cannot confirm or deny whether she will be included in the redesign, even though this was confirmed in 2016, saying that Andrew Jackson's, again, slaver ass would be moved to the back, and our girl Harriet would be on the very front. Shout out to everybody who tagged me in that story. That was like this big, huge, amazing news. And so, of course, like everything else good and perfect and right in this world, the Trump administration has decided to go directly against it.
Especially if it makes black people feel
right,
bad.
especially if it makes like I understand that even though that fucking Kardashian went to the White House and it was largely pointless because, of course, you turned right around and made sure you pardoned Dinesh D'Souza before you said anything about Alice Marie Johnson. It did at least come out today that Alice Marie Johnson, who is the first-time drug offender, I guess technically she is called a convict, but I won't call my sister that. She was sentenced and was currently serving time before Donald Trump's bitch ass pardoned him today. And of course, she thanked Kim Kardashian, which she is well within her rights to, because it makes sense. Without Kim having done this, it is extremely unlikely that this lady would be out of jail. But at the same time, fuck that family and everything them niggas stand for. Like, it is both at the same time. And that nigga Donald Trump made sure that he pardoned Dinesh D'Souza first before he said anything about your girl Alice. It was like the bare fucking minimum he could do to keep black people from like openly revolting against him. And even then, like, we've been dealing with this nigga's presidency over the past year plus, over the past 18 months, with very little like pushback, with very little insanity, like, oh God. So I guess when the Harriet Tubman thing, that was not last year, but the year before last. God. Why is it that Trump time feels like it travels so fast, but then so slow at the same time?
I have no idea.
It's like he's been in office all my life, but also for only 18 months. Like, how are both of those true? It doesn't make any sense that we have to deal with both of those at the same time. But shout out to Kim Kardashian for using her... Again, I always said, over the past month, I've said it would take heaven and earth for me to compliment that bitch. I'm saying good job on using your whiteness for getting this one black woman out of jail, but to call that going to the White House and talking about prison reform and making that something that applies to the vast majority of people who are unjustly incarcerated is a totally different thing. And also, fuck you and your whole family. Never not gonna feel that way about that. So fuck the Trump administration for feeling the way they do about the Harriet Tubman thing. I knew they wasn't going to let a former slave own that money.
Never.
Like, I wanted it to happen quickly enough for everything to be done and them to be printing the new bills before Obama got out of office. But when it became clear that wasn't going to be the case, I was like, oh, we're truly fucked. So we might not see it until we get another Democratic president in office, which might not even be 2020, because apparently we have Democratic senators who are ready to roll over and accept Donald Trump for a renomination as long as they think they can get whatever the fuck bullshit amenities, which aren't even amenities, they're just basic human rights, like basic things human beings need in order to survive, to live. So, but anyway, not to go all the way down that road, fuck the Trump administration for that, in addition to all the many, many other reasons there are to cuss out everybody in the White House and everybody associated with the White House. But also, fuck Fox News.
Oh, why?
I was going to say, not sure if you've heard this story or not because of your aversion to sports, but the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. I was very happy that
the
they...
Super Bowl was this week?
Yeah, they sure were. The Eagles played the Patriots and they won. It was great. You know, niggas rejoiced across the country.
They're the green ones.
Yes, friend, they are the green ones. I am so proud of you.
Thanks.
So, the Eagles were scheduled to go to the White House. They initially, I believe, confirmed 81 players and staff were going to attend, and then when like the real numbers were requested, it was more like 5 players and staff were going to attend.
Fair enough.
Meaning almost nobody wanted to risk being associated with Donald Trump and their whole administration, which, you know, can't really blame them for that. A lot of people suggested maybe Carson Wentz was going to go. I think it came out today that Nick Foles was one of the few Eagles players who was willing to go, not Carson Wentz, in addition to maybe a couple of the coaches and the mascot. The mascot was going to go. So, you know, you take that however you want to. But Fox News reported on the issue, and...
It's probably not even the official mascot. It's probably just some person they found in the street somewhere who was willing to do it.
Actually, what's really hilarious is that at what ended up... So... I won't call him President Trump. Your nigga Donald.
He's not my nigga Donald.
Well, no. The white people's nigga Donald put out a statement. Put out a statement talking about, you know, because there are so few Eagles players wanting to come, we're just disinviting the entire team, and we're going to make it about America and all this, right?
My grace. But
I do believe... of everybody who was present on Tuesday or Wednesday when this event occurred, only one person was wearing an Eagles piece of paraphernalia. Only one person who was there was actually an Eagles fan. Everybody else was a White House intern or a low-level person at the White House who was probably forced to go on behalf of their boss. And it ended up being an even worse situation for your girl Donald because Fox News decided to talk about the story and in the background played a bunch of footage of Eagles players kneeling throughout last season. The problem is that these players were kneeling way, way before the anthem was performed at these games. They were praying in advance of the games, probably to not develop CTE or break any bones or do anything that would cause them to not be able to support their families anymore. These were black and white players coming together to pray well in advance of the games, which if I was playing something as dangerous as football, nigga, I would be out there praying too. With white people, black people, Latinos, Asians, everybody, nigga, Pacific Islanders, everybody. Who all wants to not get injured during this game? Like, let's all come together and ask God to come look over our dumb asses while we play this fucking ignorant ass sport. And please, Lord, don't let none of us lose our check today. Like, that's all we ask for. Amen and Asha. You know, I get that. But Fox News took that footage of them praying before these games and aired it doing a story about Donald Trump, you know, talking about the Eagles players not coming to the White House anymore, insinuating that these players are being punished for kneeling during the anthem because, of course, that's all these fucking crackers have been worried about is people kneeling during the anthem instead of what it's really about, which shouted again to my girl April Ryan for asking that lion-ass bitch, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, bitch, does your president know what they are kneeling about? Does he understand that it's about police brutality and black people being killed even though they are unarmed and not posing any threat at all to the police, and Sarah being like, the president has spoken about this multiple times, girl. Like, why are you still asking me about this, you dumbass nigger bitch? I don't understand. Like, despite her being that way, April Ryan asked her anyway, and it is still the question, like, do you understand that's really what it's about? Fox News, which I'm sure is the only network TV that Donald Trump watches, aired this whole thing and of course ended up having to apologize later because several of the Eagles players, black and white, spoke out saying this is fucked up, this ain't even got nothing to do with the whole kneeling situation, y'all can't be serious right now, we're playing before games with our teammates well before the anthem. How is this being used for your propaganda? This is sad. Y'all should be better than this. And so they ended up having to apologize. This aired on Fox News at Night with Shannon Bream. And they said, during our report about President Trump canceling the Eagles trip to the White House to celebrate the Super Bowl win, we showed unrelated footage of players kneeling in prayer. To clarify, no members of the team knelt in protest during the national anthem through the regular or postseason last year. We apologize for the error. Here's the thing. You don't really apologize for the error because anybody who knew what the fuck happened with the Eagles last season knew that y'all did that shit on purpose. You aired that footage when you did because you knew that your dumbass Facebook-addicted fans were going to pay attention to that and that only and run with the dumb shit that you put out, just like you did with President Obama not really being American. Remember that whole controversy where they were like, Barack Obama's not even American, show the long foreign birth certificate, which Donald Trump was a huge supporter of the whole birther movement. Right. So, like, it wasn't even about, shout out to Zach Ertz and other players who talked about it, Malcolm Jenkins, and I think even a couple of white players who were like, this is bullshit. You know, we were praying together well before the anthem came out. Don't use us talking about our religion, which is what y'all claim to be so much about, in your propaganda against the, President Barack Obama, or in your propaganda supporting Donald Trump, because we ain't got nothing to do with that bullshit. So it was so egregious that they did eventually have to apologize, but the damage has been done because the people who hate us, the people who hate the people who call us nigga and all that, they heard that report and that was all they needed to hear to make up their minds as far as the Philadelphia Eagles and the White House was concerned. Meanwhile, the White House did not even invite the WNBA champions to the White House. Did you hear about this?
No, but I'm not surprised.
They didn't even invite the ladies who won the WNBA championship to the White House, and they have taken it upon themselves to go to Washington, D.C. and do something for the community there. But it just made no sense that, like, you feel such a strong way about the NFL and NBA players. Meanwhile, I think it's the Lynx who won last year, and they were not even invited to come to the White House and take pictures with that motherfucker. Like, it's one thing to decline the invitation. Like LeBron said, he don't know who's going to win this NBA championship. It's almost certainly going to be the Warriors, but nobody wants to go. How about, regardless of who wins, nobody's going to your raggedy-ass White House? Can we talk about that? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. So, yeah, the Lynx won last season, and they did not get an invitation for the White House to celebrate their 4th championship in 7 seasons, so they have made other plans and they are showing up. I think they're in D.C. right now by serving the kids with, what is this, summer lunch or some shit? Some shit that is, like, actually in service to the community, which the Trump White House don't know nothing about. So, fuck Fox News for their propaganda, passing bullshit. Fuck Facebook, because everybody who believes in dumb shit without looking up proof or needing evidence stands for Facebook. And fuck Donald Trump, because fuck every single fucking thing about that nigga.
All of it.
Everything that has to do with Donald Trump. Everybody in the administration who supports him, everybody in the House and Senate who lets his dumb shit slide because they want to have their own hateful ass legislation passed, fuck everybody involved. It's just that simple.
It's really that simple.
And fuck anybody who supports people who do this, like Kanye West. Fuck Kanye West. Shout out to Donda's House, which is no longer named Donda's House. Thank you so much to everybody who hit me up on the internet. Donda's House is now called Art of Culture Inc. And yes, I did send them their $5,000 like I said I would, because I meant that shit. Fuck everybody involved with supporting anybody to do with the Trump administration, because these niggas are doing everything they can to take those of us who are not cis and able-bodied and white and straight right the fuck out the game. Right the fuck out. So fuck anybody who supports that nigga.
And not
it's
even
just
doing
that
it
simple.
like stealthily or with it, like there. It's fully out in the open. And everybody's gleeful to do it.
Yeah, nothing about it is a secret or like shameful. You know, kind of how like George W. Bush was very ashamed when old Kanye said George Bush doesn't care about black people. You know how he was like ashamed by that? Donald Trump wouldn't give a fuck about that because he don't care how we feel about him. He really thinks that Kanye and his wife...
The blacks don't do anything. If you look at them, what about the things in Chicago? Chicago's a very bad place.
Trash.
Very.
Trash.
And the black community... Okay.
Just fuck everybody who has anything to do with that administration, because it's all trash. And... I don't know, friend. I just feel like we deserve better than that. We deserve better than to be constantly stressed out about what we're going to do under this administration and how far they're going to take shit. And even though it's Pride Month now, shout out to all my LGBTQI, AAA, XYZ niggas. Like,
plus.
Right, all of us and the plus. Shout out to all of us.
I don't know what the plus means.
I mean, I don't either. I honestly feel like anybody who does not identify as cisgender and heterosexual is included in that acronym and the plus. I really do think that. So it is what it is at this point. I'm glad to have the circle expand and include all you other niggas with all these genders and identities I don't know nothing about. You know, forgive my ass, I'm old. I don't know what's going on. But I love y'all niggas anyway and I support y'all. I just don't. Donald Trump is doing everything he can to make sure we know that he don't give a fuck about us. Yeah. Remember when he tried to ban trans people from the military? Yeah. And the military was like, girl, you cannot. If you would just chill the fuck out, please go sit your ass down somewhere. What are you doing, girl? He's just trash. But anyway, fuck Donald Trump as always. Thank you so much for tuning into The Read. Check us out at thisistheread.com and follow us on all social media at This Is The Read. Kipuri, any news this week?
Thank you so much to everybody in Toronto this past weekend for a great show. To celebrate, I'm eating Ruffles all dressed, the number one flavor in Canada. What does all dressed mean? Find out on the back.
It tastes like barbecue, if you ask me.
It's honestly a barbecue chip mixed with salt and vinegar, but it's really good. And
yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
I bet you're wondering what all dressed means. After all, in America, it just means you're wearing all your clothes. But in Canada, all dressed actually means deliciously ridgy chips that somehow taste salty, savory, and sweet all at the same time. That's a barbecue chip.
That is what barbecue tastes like.
Yeah.
Okay, girl. Thank you.
But they're very good.
They are good.
And you guys were great as well. So thanks for that. This weekend we will be in Oakland for our last spring tour show. So can't wait to see you guys out there. That's the Bay Area, right?
Yes, it is. We're going to the Bay Area.
And also June 24th, New York Pride weekend, actually. Again, we're going to have 305 Live. If you've been before, you know it is a rambunctious good time. If you haven't been, now's the time to make sure you're in the place. My good friends, DJ Dimples, as well as DJ Queen of Spades, will be on the ones and twos. Shout out to Black female DJs. And it's going to be a great time. I will be having other parties later on in the summer, but we're not announcing that yet. But you can go to Fury305.com to buy tickets for the New York entry of 305 Live. It's going to be a great time, so come on out. Other than that...
Yeah, I was going to tell y'all to come out to Essence Fest during July 4th weekend, but those tickets are all sold out. But if you are going to Essence Fest, maybe we'll see you.
I'm going to be
wandering around New Orleans. We'll be drunk, right? So don't be surprised if we're like, what are you? I don't get it. Because we're just like all fucked up because New Orleans is that kind of city.
I'm just hoping I can get a beignet like as soon as we like put our bags down.
Okay. No, I'm sure we can do that. We can just make sure we
I'd really like to stay where we stayed in our first New Orleans. Was that the W? It was the W.
I don't even remember, honestly.
I feel like it was the W in the French Quarter.
It may have been. Well, let's not say it on the show. Yeah. I was going to say, where are we staying now? But
I just liked it because it was like right down the street from everything. Like,
yeah.
Right around the corner.
I feel like we'll definitely be in the quarter. Stuff. I feel like we will, but we'll see. I don't actually know for sure. Do we have an acronym this week?
No acronym. I will just end the show by saying that if you must be a hater, don't hate me. Just hate yourself. Because from my point of view, you got plenty to work with. And that's it. Have a great week.
Wait a minute. I have questions.
What?
Who is that about?
It doesn't have to be about anybody in particular.
My God, though.
It's just a general statement that I feel like...
It took my breath away.
You know.
That you were just like, actually, just remind yourself that you're garbage and don't come for me ever at any point.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Which I love as a message.
If hating is just something that you absolutely must
like if you
do.
can't help yourself,
Yeah, start with yourself because you've got so much to work with.
You know, the Bible says, make sure you take the stick out of your own eye before you worry about the plank in mine. And I just think niggas should keep that in mind.
All right, have a great week, you guys.
All right, guys, we will see you next week.